Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Hope everyone is having a fine Woo Woo Wednesday slash full moon day. Full moon in Pisces per Western astrology, and full moon in Aquarius per Vedic astrology. I had to think for a second there. But welcome, everybody. Yes, it's been a minute since you've seen me, about a week now. For those who were on the most recent live stream, actually more than a week because it was Friday, as in not this most recent Friday, but the one before. Because last Wednesday, when I was supposed to go live earlier in the day, and then Tuesday and Monday before that, I was in like the throes of like a 3-day migraine. I was actually on the mend, feeling a lot better on Wednesday, but I still had a dull headache, and I needed the space and time to just recalibrate because I'm not going to get into it like tonight on the live stream, but major profound shifts have happened just in like mindset and just this overwhelming or like overwhelming sense of just like obstacles to my dreams that really do feel like they have lifted or shifted in some way during the migraine. I don't know if I was hallucinating or what. I don't really take medication or anything when I have something like that. It got so bad though Tuesday that I caved and I took some ibuprofen. I, of course, like shielded it up and made it so that my body would take the benefit but take out all of the stuff that wasn't going to help me. And that's really the only way I can make myself take any kind of pharmaceutical medication. So I did that. It didn't even really touch the migraine anyway, but sending in my own healing, it did kind of take the edge off. But oh my goodness, it was not a fun experience there. But a lot of profound mindset shifts happened during that migraine, and I felt almost like this. Again, I'm not like gonna completely divulge everything I went through because it's I'd be here all night and then probably burn it tomorrow, but it almost felt to me like a fusion of the right side and left side of the brain. I don't even know how to describe that. What energetically and even almost physically, what I was feeling is almost like a thread going from side to side, like stitching the hemispheres together. I know that sounds weird and gross, but yeah, it was just a whole experience that just wow. But then Friday, I was feeling a lot better and was gonna go live, but Thursday, well, it was actually Tuesday. My husband's like, we're gonna go, or Wednesday, Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't remember. He's like, yeah, Thursday and Friday, we are going to be out of town. We're going on our trip. And it's not like we'd planned it, but my husband's like, we got school coming up, we better do something. And I figured, well, we have the dogs, so we're probably not going to do anything. But he had planned something, and he had planned to take us to Yellowstone, which is primarily located in North Wyoming, but I live in Montana, and there's part of Yellowstone in like southern part of Montana. Living that close, I had never been to Yellowstone, been plenty of times to Glacier, which is more up where I'm at, but yeah, it was great. It was a fun experience. It was almost like a whirlwind trip because we left Thursday morning and we got back Friday afternoon, but it really felt like we were just in this whole other like out of time reality kind of thing. And we also visited before, like on our way down to Yellowstone, the Lewis and Clark Caverns. And some of you might know from history class, Lewis and Clark are the two explorers that went with Sacagawea, all that way. But yeah, that's like part of the way they went. And there's a lot of Lewis and Clark, this, that, and whatever. The Clark Fork River, Lewistown, Montana, Lewiston, Idaho, Clarkston, Idaho. I mean, there's a lot of that stuff named because of these guys up here. I'll show you a couple videos. We went into the caverns. We were a mile in the air, but then we went for a 2-hour trek into these caves with stalactites and stalagmites, and there were even some geodes like embedded in. Oh my goodness! I kept thinking in my head they had to have filmed a movie in this place. It is so cool, and it's not a place you really hear of very often. At least even me living up here, I had maybe heard it mentioned a few times in passing, but no one ever sold me on it, or I just never latched onto it. I don't know. But oh my goodness, you guys, you know, like those parts of the Goonies. There was even like a slide at one point, not like crazy, like water slide like in the Goonies, but um there was a slide at one point, you not like a long slide, but maybe, you know, like a 5 or 6 foot just kind of sliding down. And you kind of scoot more than slide. Yeah, they film movies at Yellowstone for sure. But the Lewis and Clark Caverns, which are not part of Yellowstone, these are solidly into Montana. Um, I wish that the pictures on the phone could do this place justice. There were so many different caverns, nooks, crannies, caves, just amazing. I don't even know what. Um, Let me see if this is a good one to show you guys. Again, you just might not really be able to sense the scope of what is even happening in this video here, but so amazing. There was a room called the Cathedral Room. There was all sorts of, I mean, you guys can Google this if you want to see better visions of what's actually in here. We even saw some little bats. There were like 9 different species of bats in the caverns, and roughly about a population of 100 between the different species of bats are located that they know of in these caves. But here's at one point we saw this. I mean, there was just stuff everywhere. Like you could probably take the tour, and there's actually 2 different tours you can take, a really hard one, which we did take, and then the super easy one, which is more like the bottom part of it, but we do kind of crisscross at some point. They called this cave bacon, which is really funny, but the tour guide lady, she would shine her light up there and you could actually see through it. It almost looks like an amber colored light when you shine like a flashlight on it. Let's see. And then they even had like popcorn. It almost looked like cauliflower or broccoli, like popcorn looking stuff hanging all over the place. And then even the stairs that they had carved into this place remind me of like malachite. Doesn't that, and chrysocolla? Like that's what it is, but it was more of a like amber and tan colored tones to some of the steps. But I just was like fascinated. Like you could just walk at a snail's pace and just be mystified. So magical, such high vibration. I'm just getting chills like even talking about it. So anyone that's ever planning a trip to Montana, this is a must see. And I'm pretty sure the cave stays about a 45 to 48 degrees year round. So it was kind of cold in there when we went in there. But I don't really think they do winter tours because you do have to kind of hike up the side of a mountain. It's like a half-hour hike. And it's not just this little, so if you're not used to hiking, you're going to be winded by the time you get up there. But the tour itself to me didn't feel, I mean, there was sometimes you had to kind of scooch and slide and kind of shimmy here and there. But there was a lady, I would say she was close to 80 just by my guess, and she did just fine. She was usually toward the back of the bus, so to speak, but she was pretty happy with her tour and she kept up with everybody pretty good. Oh my goodness, you guys have to check it out. There was even like a pool. Of course, there was like not fish or anything in there, but these are natural pools that were occurring in here. Just very cool. Yeah, I am in like literally right now in Missoula, Montana. That's where I've lived since 2001. Raised in Libby, Montana, and have lived there since, you know, very young. My mom was born and raised in Libby, Montana. My grandma was born and raised in Libby, Montana. So yeah, that is the asbestos capital of the world, but it's also where they filmed the movie The River Wild, the movie Always. Both of those were set in the early 90s, I do believe. They also filmed the river scene where Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant is like running or kind of like hiding from the bad guys in the river. They filmed that portion of that movie at Kootenai Falls in Libby. So yeah, Montana, lots of little hidden gems everywhere. They used to call it, oh man, I can't remember, like, I don't know if they called it like God's secret, but I've heard the last place, they've called it the last best place on earth. I think John Steinbeck said something about that, and then also something about falling in love with Montana. But yeah, the secret about Montana is out. Everybody's discovering it and moving here. So like it's becoming something very different now. I mean, there's still the general vibe, but the more people that move into this town, when I first moved here, there was probably, if I had to guess, 60-ish thousand people, and it's probably up over 100 and 120, not just city limits, I'm talking like surrounding area. So it's doubled since I've moved here in 2001. Uh, so it's no joke. Like, everybody wants to be here, and now I want to move south just a bit to the Bitterroot Mountains and just live my best life off grid, as well, not completely off grid, but with the modern conveniences, but without all of the noise and people, and yeah. So, but still within driving distance of being able to do what I need to do. That would be my ultimate dream. But then Saturday. So we came home Friday, and then Saturday, we went to a Walk Off the Earth concert, and Lindsey Sterling was the headline of that show, which was really amazing. I've known of Lindsey Sterling for a long time, but I actually booked the tickets because of Walk Off the Earth. If you haven't heard of them, at least I think they're still an indie band. They started out as an indie band, and they covered the song Somebody That I Used to Know by, I think it's the band Gautier, or I think that's how you pronounce it. But they covered that song, and it was called Five People, One Guitar. And it went viral, like back in, I don't know, 2010, 9, 11, somewhere in there. And since I found that, like, I've been following this group, this band, and so when they came up here, I was like, oh, I need to go, and it was so much fun. Yeah, they're amazing. And their kids, the Illuminati Sons, as they are called, the front man and woman of Walk Off the Earth actually are married, and they have 3 sons. I think ages like 8. Let's see. I think the oldest was born in 2013, so he'd be 9, and the youngest is 5. So every 2 years. So 9-year-old, 7-year-old, 5-year-old, like that. And they actually came out and performed. It was really cute. But they had a song called "My Stupid Heart" with the kids as like the front runners that went viral recently as well. And they performed that. It was really fun. My kids were like so excited to see that, and it was just fun. Yeah. Let me really quick go back and catch up on your comments, and then we are going to be doing a full moon reading. Again, this to me, the big migraine episode thing I had last week, and then just kind of going into this full moon energy, and just, all like almost 7 planets. Very soon there will be 7 planets retrograde. It's a whole thing. There is a major like like everything's already like inverted, and to me almost feels like it's inverting back to what it should be. Maybe not fully, but at least like there's some missing pieces. At least this is just my own interpretation of what's going on energetically. There's like pieces that we've been grasping for, wishing for, hoping for, wanting for, that are now like available, specifically surrounding just clarity in life, and even being able to finally follow through on the ish that we've been trying to do for years and just hasn't been going, or we start something and then we pull back, or something gets in the way, or we have a big bill to pay so we can't do what we want to do. Like those things that always come up last minute, or even long term down the road. These like obstacles are being removed, is really what I can boil this down to. And it's not all at once, but it's almost like you're getting this like light turning on, like, say you're in those caverns completely in the dark, and then you just see a flicker of light in the distance. Like that's energetically what this feeling like is. At least those of us who have felt very directionless or lost, or at the very least we maybe knew where we wanted to go, but it just wasn't happening. Like it's like we're getting a little further, or we're getting more clarity on what it is we want to do, what we should do, what we, there's no shoulds or needs, but a lot of times in our spirit we feel like I need to do this before I leave this plane, or I want to do this because it sounds like so much fun, or it would really vibe with who I am, and so to me it really does feel like there are things opening up that maybe in years, decades even past, that just weren't really available to us, are now becoming available, and it just feels really good because as a lot of you might know, there are a lot of planetary things going on, and they're even naming this new strain of the thing that's been going around since 2020, all that fun stuff. I'm not gonna say it for trigger word reasons. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. The new variation, I won't even use the actual word, but it starts with a V. Of this V, the variation of it is called, I'm I'm not even gonna say it out loud because I'm sure they've already got it like patented, locked and loaded with the code words. This. That's what they're naming it. That's what they're calling the new variation of this thing. And it's very interesting because, oh my gosh, I wished, okay, so I'm going to try to find his video. I'm not on TikTok, but I did have a friend send it to me. And this just, I don't try to purposely watch these things, but when they come across, and people are, pointing them out to me, I do pay attention. And it's just so mind blowing how in alignment what this guy shared in this TikTok video and that my friend sent me with what I've been getting. I'm just like blown away. Let's see, is this it? Nope, that's not it. Okay, I'm finding it. So it's TikTok John Michael, and he talks, it's called September 23rd, 2023 is the name of the video. So let me try. I'm not going to play it, but I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. So those of you, I don't even have TikTok, so I don't even know how you search on TikTok or what, but this is a video. And so much of it, mind blowing. Check it out. But yeah, so they're even trying to, powers that were, powers that be, whatever you want to call them, are trying to hijack the absolute like comet or asteroid energy of that word I've typed out for their own, dastardly deeds. And it's funny because when I heard that, I laughed so hard. I'm like, that's cute. That's funny. They think they can do that. They already know they've lost, but it's just really us deciding that we're ready to just step into our own power. We don't have to ask anyone permission to step into our power. And in fact, they need our permission or us to, give them, or, the illusion of us giving them our power for them to have any power. If everybody who had a thought in their head or a voice in their throat would actually speak up against this stuff, it would stop instantly. They don't have the power over us that they want to think they do, or that even a lot of us think that they do have. And once you come to that realization, there's just major epiphanies that come. Yes, hello everybody. So I'm going to catch up on comments, then we're going to jump into the reading, and then we're going to also jump into and update our donation list as well. And we are also giving a free reading away, 1111 value, at some point during the live stream. Yes. Hello. We've got Jamie Wilson, Crazy Tempest, Kalaki 131, welcome and hello. Jessica's here and Jessica Lynn. We've got Kirsten. We've got who else? Amber's here. Yay. Yeah, they definitely film movies in Yellowstone. Yeah, I didn't have a migraine for the trip. It really did clear up mostly by the time I went to bed on Wednesday. It was still very dull, but by the time I woke up Thursday, I was feeling much better and was still a little lethargic at the beginning of the trip, but I didn't have time to sit and rest on my laurels because we went right into those caverns. And by the time we left the caverns, I had pep in my step. I felt completely healed. I don't know what it was. Check it out if you're in the area. 10 out of 10 would highly recommend. Yes. Hello. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're going to Minnesota. Yeah. Another northern area, but not quite. I'm on the very western part of Montana. So in my head, I like to call us the Pacific Northwest, even though not quite, but we're not the Midwest either. We're just in the northern mountain regions. I don't know, Alberta, Canada 2.0, you could call us that because it's very similar terrain and climate as southern Alberta, Canada, and even up in, we've got very similar weather. Yeah, and we're right next to Idaho, and we're sandwiched between Idaho and the Dakotas. That's where I'm at. But on the very, someone, there was a meme that said the border of Montana going into Idaho looks like the guy who's the president right now, I don't want to say his name, sniffing somebody's hair. Well, I live at the nostril of the Joe Biden, I just said his name, darn it, the Joe Biden nose. That's where I live in Montana. Trying to censor myself and it just is not working. Hi, Linda, welcome, popping in and out while making dinner. Sounds like fun to me. Yeah. And Jamie knows who Walk Off the Earth is. That's awesome. Yeah, they're fun. Love, life, and enjoy. Welcome, Shauna. Welcome. Yes, all right. Major realignment of everything. It seems almost peaceful to me. Yes, yes. And even with all these retrogrades going on, I don't know if it's just me personally or this is more of a collective thing, because personally I have 6 retrograde planets in my chart, not including, the South and North Node that are, in retrograde fashion just naturally. Because they're estimated points. They are shadow planets. They don't even really exist. Technically, you can't look up in the sky and find the North Node or South Node because they are the nodes of the moon. They are calculations. But they go in retrograde fashion all the way around the chart. But yeah, I have all of the outer planets from Mars on out, including Pluto. So Mars, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, I'm missing something, Jupiter, and Pluto in my chart. So I have all of that retrograde. So I'm just retrograde inside and out. So I actually do pretty well during retrogrades, including Mercury retrograde, which is kind of interesting. I usually don't have, the biggest one I normally have an issue with personally is Venus retrograde, because I'm a Libra ascendant. Venus retrograde Venus rules my ascendant and my 8th house, which could be crazy. But this Venus retrograde has been beautiful and kind to me, so I can't complain at all. And Venus actually goes direct on September 4th. And the same day that I do believe it's Jupiter that goes retrograde. Yes, that's right. I have it right. I'm like talking to myself in my head like, yep, that's it. Yes, and let's see, make sure I shouted out everybody who's here. Okay, so we've done all the shout outs. I've updated you on my life the last, I don't know how long. I always feel like I look like I don't have any hair when my hair is like behind me. So I don't know, maybe I will do this so I don't keep touching my hair. I don't know, it just feels more natural to me to look like this. I don't know. No one else cares. Yes. Anyway. Oh, she had to take out the dog. All right. So let's go ahead, because things feel to me, and at least those of you that kind of chimed in about the energy, the major realignment of everything, it almost feels like just, if not like a quantum leap for all of us right now, at least it's like a light has been turned on in the darkness. Like that's how it feels. But yet with the feeling or the faith or just the intuitive wisdom that this is only the beginning. It's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. And it's only going to get better. Like that's the vibe I'm getting. I'm like, this is the beginning of the end in the best possible way. The end of, that stagnation and that like going in circles and getting nowhere kind of energy of the Matrix, or, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, my hair's still doing its thing. So let's do that. I don't know. Whatever. So with all of that like progression and like level up kind of energy that I'm feeling, I'm gonna use After Tarot, at least for our collective today. And this is gonna kind of encompass these full moon energies that are going on. And I didn't even talk about that yet. So this full moon is happening in the sign for Western astrology of Pisces and for Vedic astrology Aquarius, in the nakshatra of Shatabishak nakshatra, and that is the 100 healers. And, that word that I posted a couple comments up is actually something that they're trying to make a thing again. You can't make fetch a thing. Is kind of what I'm hearing, is like they're trying to make history repeat itself, because yes, during the first cycle of this whole craziness back in 2019, 2020, 2021, Mars was actually where it is right now in the sign of Virgo. And Mars doing all its thing. It's now back there right now, and they're gonna try, but people just aren't receptive or responsive to it the way that they were the first time around. We have an ad coming, so we'll take a quick little water break. So those that are drug away don't miss what we're talking about. So yes, try as they might to capitalize on the asteroid that I have put here. I don't want to say it again because of the algorithm. Those trying to capitalize on that energy and to have our fear and nail biting and anxiety funneled and shoveled into it, we're taking our power back. So, like the guy said in the video too, those of you that want to check that out, the TikTok one, I kind of showed you guys who it was, and I don't know how to find it on there. You'll have to be creative. I don't know how to search on TikTok because I'm not on there. But yes, this is about having as much fun as you can, just being very, I guess stingy is the word that comes to mind, being very stingy with your energy as far as projecting it into fear-based activities like watching the news, listening to people that control us, or, you know, however you want to put that. I don't want to say the G word. You know, the Latin root means mind, and well, to govern our minds or control our minds. That's what this word actually means if you look at the root of the word government. Again, trying to be very creative with the way I'm talking so this doesn't get shut down or flagged or whatever. But anyway, yes, we're using the After Tarot to not only tune into this 100 healers energy of this full moon, but it's a very Saturn-centric full moon. You know, Saturn is that planet of, you know, duty and responsibility and old ways of doing things and karma. And that's all being looked at now. So we're getting the good benefits of past karma, yes, but also some of this old baggage from not even us and our own soul journeys or spirit journeys as well, but like our ancestry, the things, the good, bad, ugly, and sad, happy, and everything in between that our ancestors have done. It's almost like there's this crack in all of the baggage and karma and wounds that have been put on us through our bloodlines. It's like we don't have to bear the burden of it anymore so much as the heaviness of what we had been, you know, having to go through. Doesn't mean it's all gone and all is forgiven and we can just fly on out of here. I don't see it that way either, but there's like some reprieve or a breath or just a lightening of the load that's going on right now. But I, again, feel like it's leading up to something. I don't know if it's going to be that specific date of September 23rd. I usually never, ever buy into, oh, this is going to happen and this is going to shift on this day. Like I never play into dates or ever will predict dates with anything like that, because a lot of it has to do with our own consciousness and also sometimes the consciousness of the collective. And we can never just be 100% specific with that. So let's tune in with this full moon energy of this healing going on and just, yeah, the tables have turned, the cycles. Remember I was saying about how everything in the matrix is really inverted. It's almost like a righting of that wrong, or like a turning of the page, or, you know, just a calibration or rebalancing. And again, this is not just going to happen with the flip of a switch today or tomorrow or the next day. This is taking place over time, but we're definitely going to start seeing that forward momentum in a direction that feels much more supportive to our true essence, our spirit in these realms. Because what's been going on has not been feeling very supportive for at least most of us that are in alignment with our true spirit. And if anything, the more in alignment with our true spirit we become, the harder it is to be in this realm. Yeah, I'm happy I'm not the only one feeling that way. I was thinking I was crazy, but it seemed like a great new beginning. Yeah, right? Yeah, and it's not going to be easy because so many of us, but look, the clarity I keep talking about is coming in. But it's, again, it's a solo journey that we have to take by going within, connecting to our true essence, that part of us that exists outside of this clown show, this game, this matrix, whatever you want to call it. Because this, what we're, you know, living, experiencing, eating, breathing, sleeping, isn't even real. It's the Maya, it's the illusion. And when we can tune back into our true essence, our true spirit, we can almost just laugh thinking that we think this is real. And I know it feels very real, and we can feel the pain and the suffering and the heartbreak of it. It is more real than anything when we're here. But when we are not here, when we are in alignment with that true part of us, it's like none of this could touch us. And that really is the clarity coming in. And again, with the healing, we got the snake here. The staff is turned into a snake in this hermit depiction. And we've got this like falcon here. I want to call that a falcon. And, you know, the wisdom. It's like we're taking the clarity that we've gained. So anyone who wants some additional homework, go ahead and look into what the falcon spirit animal represents and see if that's in alignment with either where you're currently at or where you want to go. As far as symbolism and meaning and all of that, see if that's in alignment with where you're at right now or where you want to go, who you want to be when you grow up, that kind of vibe. Because it's like the falcon spirit, you know, all bird energies really are connected to the divine. And I'm not talking about, you know, the gods of this realm. I'm talking about the actual divine. So there might just be further spiritual awakening for those watching this now or on the replay. that you're going to be able to tune into. And very interesting. I'm trying to shuffle my deck here, and we've got one card that's just not like the others. It's in reverse. So it's almost like, when it's upright, it's the traditional way of doing everything. But when it's in reverse, it's like we go within to examine the traditions of this realm and realize a lot of it just isn't in alignment with us. It's stuff that was passed to us from, the systems in place, or our ancestors, our parents, our teachers, our, peers. A lot of what we believe, see, hear, interpret in our reality is based on false information and inverted reality information. So when we start to get in alignment with that true spirit and with the energies that are really supporting this right now, it's like we are getting into alignment with the true tradition of this realm, before it was tainted, before it was hijacked, before, whatever you want to think about it. And more in alignment with the true essence of tradition, of actual spirit. Let's go ahead also and get, I feel like I want 2 of these, but we'll see. We'll see what we get here. Too many. All right. And this one wants to come out. So past lives. What were we saying about karma? To me, it feels like karma is being cleared. So let's read what it says. Release your past life karma. You are an old soul with deep wisdom. Healing your past lives will raise your vibration. And again, I don't even see that we are actively like picking and prodding and choosing and doing surgery to ourselves to really dive deep. I can speak, I promise. We don't even have to go searching deep for it. We don't have to go into the caverns of our soul or our spirit to find it. It's very near the surface. And especially to not just our own past lives, but our past in this incarnation, as far as our lineage, our ancestors. It seems like a very big theme of past karma that we had no, affiliation with, but yet is placed on our shoulders. We are clearing that. Again, maybe not in a one fell swoop, but there at least feels to be a lightening of the load of it. All right, what else do we need to know about these current energies and this full moon as well? Action. Okay, I love it. And of course, retrogrades can be a very trying time when you are trying to get something going, especially if you think of a really bright idea during a retrograde. Sometimes it can be that it feels like everything's going well, but then once the retrograde's over, it's like the wind leaves your sails, and then you're like, oh, I got to start all over. That wasn't quite it, or whatever. But at the very least, this is leading us in the direction of something that is going to support us longer term. And again, with that clarity. So maybe during a lot of this retrograde energy, and there's always retrogrades going on. It's not a rare phenomenon. Even to have 6 or 7 planets retrograde, it's not a rare thing. It happens. But it's like the more things start to move direct, and maybe we only have 2 or 3 things retrograde, or even 1 thing retrograde, or whatever it is, that's when the action can really start to be taken. I'm going to read the little keywords here as well, or little sentences. So now is the perfect time to act. Take inspired action toward your dreams. Move forward with confidence. And those of you that maybe have felt stuck, stagnant, not even sure what direction to go. Maybe you have all this ambition and motivation, but you just don't know what to apply it toward. Well, now you know. Or at very, very least soon, you will start to get the clarity to know what direction to go in, and to then be able to start taking that action. Again, it's not all going to happen at once. This is like a gradual turning of the tide, or a changing of the guard, so to speak, that is taking place right now. I feel like I want this one as well. All right, anything else we need to know? The current energies and this full moon energy as well. Square, challenge and disharmony. Again, this is what's being called up, not from the depths so much. Yes, they were in the depths, but now they are at the surface. So yes, this time might also have some challenge and a bit of disharmony, because the way that we may have even been going along to get along in certain relationships or jobs, or even just ways of showing up in society, they just aren't working for our spirit anymore, and our spirit's tired, and it's time to make a shift, make a change. So again, it might feel very challenging and disharmonious to you as you're going through it. But some of, what this square energy reminds me of is the refining and hardening of a diamond. Going from that coal to becoming the diamond. That's not easy. And I really do see that it's not like you've got all this challenge and stuff ahead of you. No, this is accounting for all the past challenges, not even just in this life. Again, We got all this past life challenge and disharmony coming in to now be able to be something bright. So what is this brightness that's coming as a result of clearing out a lot of this past life stuff, past karma, ancestral stuff, again with the snake symbolism, with the healing. There's a healing. All right, what is this bringing us? What benefits, what blessings is this bringing for us now? Wow, Virgo energy, healing. Yes, lots of healing, and even just organization of our thoughts, our ideas. You know, Virgos, people who have a lot of Virgo in their charts, they love to find ways to organize their space, their thinking, their thoughts, their life. But also, you know, Virgo can transmute something that's just not working into something that'll work beautifully. That is another really great talent. They can find all the flaws, you know, which can be almost like a perfectionist mode at times. But at the same time, they are going to be the first ones to like congratulate you when you get something right. So this Virgo energy is very sixth house energy as well. So all the things associated with the sixth house, there are many things associated with the sixth house, but off the top, you know, your health and wellness. A lot of you might be re-examining, what do I even put into my vessel to fuel it for success and health and harmony? So some of the challenge and disharmony many of you might be feeling is with your, you know, your diet, your exercise, just how you feel in your physical vessel, because, you know, Virgo is earth energy. And a lot of us have been feeling really disharmonious just because there is so much toxicity in this, you know, realm, so much toxicity, but there is a, you know, a change, a shift coming to the way you show up for yourself in your physical body. Sixth house also has to do with your day-to-day work routine, even like your routine around the house, your morning routines, your night routines, your self-care routines, all the routines are getting kind of a brush up, and even clarity coming into how you can simplify maybe certain routines or implement certain routines that you don't really have, but you would like to have. There's a major shift coming here as well. This also does deal with like your maternal family, like your mother's siblings, because fourth house is the mother, and 3 houses away, siblings, is the sixth house. Because we always count the house, you know, in Vedic astrology, we count fourth house as house 1, fifth house is house 2, sixth house is house 3. So three houses away from your mother is your maternal, like aunts and uncles, and even cousins can be an offshoot of that. But a lot of times you can go 5 houses from your sixth house to find more of your maternal cousins. You can really use your chart to find specifics about almost anything. But also pets or small animals that you take care of. If they're not your pets, maybe it's like a stray in the area, or I don't know, if you go to a petting zoo and feed a something, I don't know, a goat? What's at a petting zoo? A goat. That could count. There may be some things going on with that. Someone might be getting a pet, or there could even be a transition of a pet, or something changing with a pet, the health of a pet. You know, maybe even the lifestyle of a pet, meaning, oh, my pet's very overweight, it needs to lose weight. Or my pet's been very sickly, I need to get it on, you know, a special diet or routine to make my pet feel better. You know, if you don't have a pet, or your pet's just fine, that might just not be your message. But yeah, I think there might even just be one very specific person that knows their pet maybe needs a change of diet, or you know, just to get healthier in some way. Or maybe you are trying to find time in your schedule to get out more active with your pet, to get your pet more exercise as well. And then Capricorn, the boss, just popped out as well. So again, more Capricorn, Saturn energy coming in hot. But this really is about our own authenticity, our own sovereignty, being the boss of ourselves in our own lives. If we can't be a boss at work, you know, that's its own thing. But we are each, should be anyway, the boss of our own selves. That's what we're being asked to really examine. And, you know, I love this. And of course, this is also Virgo energy. You know, the Hermit is also Virgo energy. So there's a lot of Virgo stuff going on, at least in, let's see, I think it is, Mars is still in Virgo for Western. It might not be anymore. I'm going to double check at least where it is in Vedic astrology. it's probably not going to be there long, but I just want to see where we're at currently as of right now. Yeah, it's still, I think it just went into Libra for Western astrology lovers out there, but it's at 8 degrees of Virgo right now in Vedic astrology. So that would put us into Libra for Western astrology. But if you actually look up with your eyeballs into the sky and you saw the planet Mars, you would see that it is actually physically located in the constellation of Virgo. That's why I love Vedic astrology so much, because it is actual snapshot of what's actually happening right now. Yes. Aw, your cat's health has been all over the place lately, sadly. Aw. Well, even you setting the intention to help heal, because Virgo is that healer, healing hands, healing energy. Same with the Hermit. A lot of healing, even clarity of healing. If you feel you have, or even have the desire to be a healer of any kind, just having that desire lets you already know you are a healer. We are every single one of us, our bodies are master healers. Just think of this. This is the example I always use. Okay, so you broke a limb, you broke an arm or a leg. Well, you go to the doctor sets the bone, gets everything nice and stitched up if that needs to happen, or if it's a clean break and there's no wounds, they'll put it in the cast, get the cast set, and send you on your way with a very hefty bill, usually. But does the doctor follow you home and weave that bone back together and, send the plasma in? I'm not a doctor. I don't know the terminology. Send the plasma in to heal the wound and the this and the that. No, your body, literally your body heals itself. Yes, sometimes we need help from doctors and medications and, quantum healing, obviously. Yes, we can use these to help, facilitate and even sometimes initiate healing to take place. But it's our body is innate intelligence. That is our spirit energy that heals our body. So something that has no spirit, I guess there are AI souls and stuff as well, but usually there has to be a spirit essence in like a natural being for there to be healing to take place. So if someone passes away, of course the body's going to start decaying rather than healing or repairing. Yeah, I know we can really go off on tangents, but yeah, just trying to explain what I'm seeing come up here. But yes, that is going to do it for our collective reading. But hold fast, because we are also going to be doing a free giveaway for an 1111, aka one card read, which for me, let's be honest, it's never one card. It's never one card. So I just call it the 1111 reading. Free 1111 reading coming up. And the way to win that is when the time comes, this is not it yet, but just for the sake of example, I will be shuffling this deck or another deck, whichever tarot deck I see fit. It'll be tarot though, because we need to know what cards are in it. And I will shuffle the cards, and the first person to intuit or guess what card I pulled from the stack will win the reading. And of course, in this instance, it's the King of Pentacles. Say Jessica had called out King of Pentacles. Yay, Jessica won the reading. And then, look, King of Pentacles is also part of the reading, even though the deck I think already knew as far as the subconscious energy. Whatever question Jessica would have for her free reading, that King of Pentacles would be like the underlying energy of her question. So hope that makes sense. Those of you that are new or just joining us, yeah, that's what we do to win the reading. And that'll be at some point during the live stream. But now let's go ahead and get into our collective, sorry, we already did that, our donation readings. Yes, and I'm gonna double check my email. And if you have donated and you do not see your name on the list or me updating it right now, let me know. Let me know so I don't miss anybody. So Crazy Tempest. So after Crazy Tempest, we have a one card for Jamie and then a full read for Kirsten. So one card for Jamie. Oh, I gotta go back up. Copy my list. Okay, and I have a few I have to timestamp tonight. So I will put Jamie and Kirsten above the timestamp lists. Card for Jamie and Kirsten, a full read. So we're going to be starting with Crazy Tempest tonight, and she already has her question out on PayPal. A general for career. And let me just copy that and paste. There we are. So if you have donated, you do not see your name on the list, please let me know. Aw, thank you so much, Jessica. She says she loves sitting here listening. Such nice energy. Fun. I love it. And also, those of you that aren't donating, or you're just kind of chilling, hanging out, sometimes the information coming through can resonate with you, because where your attention goes, your energy flows. And it's happened. It happens where I could be doing a reading for, say, Amber, and Jessica can completely align with whatever is coming through. Yeah, it's so much fun. Thank you for the donation. Leora, if you are hoping for a full reading, or the one card read, I do have the pricing I was gonna say timestamp. No, not timestamped. Pinned at the top of the chat or in the description below for the actual pricing for the readings. But if that is just a donation, to say, hey, it's fun, I like this, thank you, that's cool too. Thank you so much. But yeah, if you were hoping for a full reading, the pricing is linked at the top of the chat and also in the description. Thank you so much, though. Thank you so much. All right. So I think my husband's home from work. I hear my dog barking. But let's get into Crazy Tempest's question. Just let me know you are here, Crazy Tempest, so I know for sure. I'm also going to be getting my little notepad out for my timestamps later on, so I might as well. 4618. For Crazy Tempest. And anyone else that is here but would just like a timestamp, if you will just remind me right before your reading, I can very easily and quickly jot it down. And then when I do close out the live stream and then go to my page, I can just leave a comment and just write everyone's timestamp. That way, a year from now, 3 months from now, however long from now, if you wanted to check back on a live stream and see if you had a question, you could always go right to that timestamp by checking the comments. I mean, the comments, usually I get no more than 3 comments on any one live stream, so they're pretty easy to shuffle through. But that's just a way, you can personally track your own readings if you're getting multiple readings over time with me, that you don't just, hear it once and then it's gone forever. That way you can keep up with it if you choose. There's nothing wrong with getting the reading once and then never going back. That's totally fine too. I'm just here for you. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. You keep thinking of a question so you can donate, but you don't have any yet. Well, maybe you're meant to win. I did use you as the winner example tonight. Who knows? Who knows? But sometimes even just wanting a general or just leaving it open to spirit can bring through or bring forward epiphanies that we didn't know we needed, right? You just never know. So we do have an ad coming in 20 seconds, so I want to just maybe hold off. Unless Crazy Tempest, you do have YouTube Premium and you're not going to be sucked away by an ad. Yeah. So 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds. All right, we'll wait just a moment here. I do know though, Crazy Tempest wanted a career reading for September 2023. Here we are. Ooh, the Chariot. So I don't know if you had been debating maybe applying somewhere else or asking for more money. There's a debate, or very soon in September will be a debate for you to want to go in a new direction. Even if you're just literally staying in the same position at the same job, there's a change of direction. But to me, it's you're at the helm. You're at the control station, the control center of whatever shift or change needs to occur or take place. There might even be travel for work if you do travel for your job, or could even be a vacation if you're planning a vacation. There's a lot of ways we can interpret this energy, depending on what your actual, where you're currently at with work. And the more cards I pull, usually I can get more clarification on it. But a lot of potentials here for September for Crazy Tempest. Yeah, the Devil. So you might even be in your head about shifts or changes that you want to make or you hope to happen in work, or you're just kind of unsure or unclear about something at work as well. Could be another way we interpret this, but just maybe even being tempted to, take on more work or even slough off work. I mean, again, lots of ways we can interpret this, or even be tempted to, I'm seeing you laughing with someone at work. So I don't know if there's just I don't want to call it wasted time, but just allowing yourself to have some fun at work. And you sometimes won't allow yourself to have fun because you're like, no, I'm on the clock. I need to, be working. Could be a vibe with that as well. Again, depending on your current work circumstances, this could be taken many ways. But you do have a pretty major shift or transition going on at work because there are two major arcanas. Major arcanas don't just come out randomly. I mean, they come out when there's major changes or shifts going on. But a lot of times when the devil energy comes out, it's about a lot of times we can get really in our head, or even a lot of times our ego can come out. But the good news when you have the devil on your shoulder is you're finding creative solutions. So there might be some creativity you're bringing to the table, creative solutions to issues or problems or obstacles going on at work that you're bringing forward or bringing to the table. What else for Crazy Tempest? Career 2023, September 2023 specifically. Ooh, yes, you're in your head a bit about something, or maybe a lot, because we have the lower octave. I always call the Eight of Swords the lower octave of the devil, because that is really being in your head, feeling trapped, feeling stagnant, feeling stuck. But really, the stuck and stagnant really is just an illusion. It's all about mindset or perspective. And sometimes just shifting that mind state or perspective can make you feel a lot better, to see things more clearly. So a lot of times when this combination would come up, I would say it's time for a vacation. And right as I said that, I'm getting like a weird pulse like on the left side of my brain. So like the more logical side of the brain, you might even be like fried or frazzled after work. There's a lot of mental thoughts, or if there is drama or something going on at work, it takes a mental toll on you. So whether it's the work itself or the coworkers or the clients, or just you thinking a lot about work when you're not at work, again, lots of ways we can interpret this energy. But with the fact the Six of Swords is also coming out to clarify what's going on for you, this would be great to have a vacation day if you have any vacation saved up, even if you don't want to like plan a trip or anything, because usually the Six of Swords is more short distance or kind of in your general area or like within a 100-mile radius kind of travel. But this is also like my online or internet card. I always, which is like the opposite of just local area. It's like World Wide Web. So if you are traveling, you might be doing it online, traveling the World Wide Web, or you could be doing some just sightseeing or just hanging out in your local area. Again, to like step back from work physically, maybe even mentally, because there might be a choice or a decision that you might be a bit confused about at work, that you will get the clarity you're seeking by just taking a break, a respite. Even if you don't have any vacation or you don't want to like take a vacation right now or in September, just taking whatever days off of the week that you do have and just really immersing yourself in your personal life and just trying to shut out all of the devils on your shoulder or the little thoughts about work, so that you can just focus on your self-care or having fun with friends or whatever it is. All right, what else for Crazy Tempest? Career in September 2023. All right, ooh, the beautiful minded with Libra. So again, that maybe out of balance or over hyper thinking that's going on. Again, Libra is yet another air sign, so a lot of mental activity, but the fact that this Libra energy is coming in to support, of course, in Western astrology, we are coming into Libra season during September. So yeah, Libra is where it's at, right? Very soon. But just finding the balance, seeing two sides, again, with the choice or decision. Or I just heard trying to decide the lesser of two evils, or between the lesser of two evils. The devil's coming out. Maybe both options are equally tempting or equally not great, but you kind of have to choose one of them. The fact with Libra coming out, you're going to make the most like balanced and fair choice for yourself and for others as well. So you will be able to figure out and overcome any indecision or temptation or F this, I'm ready to leave, like any like anger, rage, even just unsatisfaction or dissatisfaction with your work is shifting. It's changing, but it's going to maybe take you doing a physical or even mental reset with your work and what's going on with, the people at work, the clients at work, if you have them, or customers, or even just this overall, sometimes we can go through ruts in our work. where we're just not really feeling work. There's nothing really wrong. There's nothing really right. We're just there. It's just kind of, but again, I'm feeling like this sense of forward momentum and direction is coming for you in September, but it might take a bit. Like at the beginning part of the month, you're kind of doing some mental gymnastics about how do I, improve things? How do I not attach to certain things people say or do? But a lot of it is the mental gymnastics that we, a lot of times we'll put ourselves through or our own minds through, that we don't really even have to go down these roads. So if you're worried, like if you're worried about any kind of layoff or, just the way people are perceiving you or things that are going on at work, any kind of worry, it almost feels to me like it's unnecessary worry. So instead of spending your time worrying, it's more like just focusing on maybe taking care of yourself or just making the most of whatever situation is going on at work. And you're going to find out by the end of the month going into October that, wow, things are actually pretty darn good because, at the heart of the Chariot card, it's about success. So there is succeeding or success. There might even have been or could be in September someone trying to take credit for something you said or did that's, positive. They're trying to take credit for it, or at the very least, they're not giving you the credit you deserve. But by the end of the month going into October, you will get that recognition that you are looking for. Could even be some, like, I don't know if you do have a commute or if you do have to ride any kind of public transportation, there could be some hiccups, I guess, like early part of the month, but by the, again, mid to end part of the month going into October, it should be fine. Yeah. All right. Or even like if you are driving to work or whatever, just finding a parking spot could be difficult, or, there's just something with from leaving your house to getting to work that just kind of feels like a nuisance. It's not an actual problem, but you're just kind of like frustrated by it. Yeah. A lot of weird little random messages came out with that. So hopefully, if you're feeling kind of about work right now, definitely by the end of September, you're going to be feeling a lot more like at least content with what you're doing, but even more in control of how you perceive what's going on around you, and even feeling this sense of balance, with that Libra energy. All right. So Jamie with a 1-card read. Go ahead and post your question, my dear. We're going to get right into it for you. You sure hope so. Okay. So things have probably already been going on. Of course, if you know, you know. And again, you don't have to tell us all your business because Spirit knows. We don't have to get into it. But yeah, hopefully that brought you some clarity, and things will definitely be, again, ironed out by about mid-month going into the end part of the month into October. You're going to be feeling a lot better for sure. All right. So Jamie. And we're going to the after tarot for you. I don't know why I'm doing this, but I just heard that very clear in my mind. We're going to the after tarot. Okay. So whatever Jamie's question is. And we got a 1-card read for Jamie, and then Kirsten's full read is on deck. And oh yes, absolutely, Kirsten. Yeah, we can do 2 1-cards for you. 2 1-cards. 2 1 card. Okay. Will I be making mom friends in St. Louis soon? Woo! Who? Oh, I'm like, woo! But you meant who? But I said woo, which to me is something you do when you're celebrating or at least excited. So I would say yes. You will be making some mom friends. I did see the King of Swords on the back of the deck as I'm trying to shuffle here, which to me feels like you're mentally so you're either reaching out or finding them on some sort of online thing, because air could be online communication. But King of Swords, that's to me feels like you all have some sort of common ground or common way of thinking. We have victory here. So this is just indicating, yeah, victory will be yours. You will be making some friends, mom friends specifically. Yep. And you probably people with kids similar ages to you, if not maybe a year older down to a year younger than your youngest. will be within the ages of your kids. So it's not like you're going to meet a mom with a 15-year-old kid and you've got, these young ones. Very similar age ranges with the kids, and then literal mom energy coming out. Yes, victory with the mother and children getting together. So you might even be like finding, this could be through different programs or little things that maybe you sign your kid up for. Like they used to have like mommy music day, or, all these different, whatever's going on. I would assume since you're in a city or at least a suburb of that city, that there's these programs. There's a lot of times even free programs. You can go online and look for free mother-child or parent and child activities to do, even for real little ones. I'm not just talking like grade school on up age, but like little ones. You can find inexpensive and even free things to do. And sometimes even just going to the places that people with kids or, in your age range would be, like the park or, I don't know, a splash pad, or, I don't know, different places you could find people. And maybe it is that you are striking up a conversation, or even again with that King of Swords energy I saw on the back of the deck, going online to look up mom groups in your area. Again, proceed with caution, because some mom groups can get toxic real fast. I've learned that a time or two when my kids were a lot younger. Specifically, I guess it was called Crunchy Mamas way back. And I know there's at least 3 or 4 other groups on there called that last I checked. So it's probably long gone, because last I checked I couldn't find the actual group anymore. But a couple of girls I met on there during the fight, and it wasn't even a fight on my part, I had mentioned something. Well, another girl had mentioned something, and then I jumped on the bandwagon like, no. Someone was basically saying that, no, this is a Christian group. I'm like, it says nowhere on here it's a Christian group. Why can't these moms share, ways that they, do these spiritual things with their kids? And like became a fight, and these 2 girls were like trying to stand up for each other and like doing their best, but there was like so many moms like popping into like, no, that's devil worship, you're a witch, you're this, you're that. And it's like, and then I step in, I'm like, no. But I made 2 amazing friends with those ladies because I, saw what was going on, and I didn't just scroll on by. I probably could have and should have maybe, but no, because I met some great friends. But just, make sure not everybody on the mom groups is going to be like that in a bad way. You're going to maybe find some soul sister types, but this was like a nationwide, worldwide group. So it wasn't like, I could go up and hang out and go for coffee with these moms or anything. Because, they lived one in Texas and one in Pennsylvania at the time. So, but yeah, there can be some amazing mom groups, and even some not so great mom groups, but like certain people in the mom groups, you're just like, yes, this is my friends. I love this. Yeah, there's been some interesting things, but then I've been part of other mom groups that were just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I'm learning so much, and recipes and cool hot tips for bedtime. Like, you run the gamut. So, just feel it out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Leora. I appreciate that. Awesome. I'm glad you enjoy those. Yeah, I kind of have some plans to make some more. So Bolo, be on the lookout. But I do, in the meantime, I think I have 31-ish, 32, 33, somewhere around there, videos in a playlist for anyone who wants that. So let's see. I missed your thing up here. Trying to get in touch with an old friend, Alex Ann, but I'm not sure if she wants to hang out still. Well, let's just see. Let's just see if she does want to hang out. Ooh, we have Knight of Cups. So you might just have to find her and make the offer, because it's like energetically, she's taking the offer. If you can find her, I would try, because that could be a thing. Could be a thing. Yeah. Maybe she got caught up in some rough crowds with the mom groups. You just never know. Yeah, a few online friends. And sometimes that can be just as valid, if not even more, like where you can really share in an even more vulnerable way than you can with like person to person. Yeah, you can meet some amazing people in these groups, or, just however you meet them. You can meet some amazing people online. Yeah, awesome. All right, so I hope that helped. Yeah, you're definitely going to be able to find some like-minded individuals At the same time, look at this on the back of the deck, the 12th house, spirituality and art. So maybe even finding moms connecting through these two interests that you have, your spiritual side and your artistic side, your creative side, finding moms, maybe even if you're starting your own thing where, you meet, depending on weather, you meet in the park and maybe you have a group of, I don't know, however many you want to have it, and just say like, okay, finger painting at the park at this time, be there. I got some supplies. If you have supplies, bring them. We'll have fun, or whatever. You don't have to go search them out. Sometimes you can create your own as well. You're so creative, you could create your own. That would be fun. That just came to me. I'm like, where were all these awesome ideas when I had young kids? Because I would have totally done that, but it just never occurred to me. I missed the boat. Jamie, get on the boat for us all and let us know how it goes. So fun. Love it. All right. So Kirsten is next for 2 one-card reads. Again, they're never one card. You guys know what I mean. All right. Basically shorter reads from the longer version. So Kirsten, go ahead and post your first question and your second as well. But first, obviously. All right. And we're going back to this deck. You're so welcome. Always a pleasure. I get really great downloads for ideas when you ask questions. So yes, I love it. So what does the outlook look like for my job? There's a bunch of possible layoffs happening due to lack of student enrollment in the program. All right, let's tune in. Specifically on the timeline Kirsten is on and most likely to be on in the near future, meaning over the next 3 months is kind of the time frame I'm tuning into most. Because the farther out we go, the less likely the outcome. You know what I mean? So if someone tells you in 10 years you're going to meet this person and you're going to meet them this way and you're going to do that, it's less likely to happen. But they say next week, it's more likely to happen because there's less margin for error or to change your mind, or you know what I mean. Yes, have a great night, Jamie. Thanks for hanging out. Did one flip? Yes, it did. Okay. There might be some sort of grant or scholarship fund, something. There's some kind of relief or help coming in so that you won't lose the job. Or if it appears there's going to be layoffs, it's like people are working together, or maybe, just maybe, that could be that certain people are pulling their own energy back and leaving work. Or there's something happening to where whatever you need to have happen to keep the job, it's going to happen. So whether this looks like more enrollment in the program so that there's more interest, more coming together, more working together. This is really a card about apprenticeship, learning, growing, mentor-mentee relationship, learning, again, for apprenticeship, you're learning something. So specifically with your job, if you are learning something, or it's like on the job type of training, it could be, if that's not what your job currently is at all, that you're going to leave this job by your own accord. You're not leaving because you got laid off or something. You're taking a choice to have an opportunity present itself that you can get in an opportunity that is like a learning thing for you. Unless that's what this already is that you're in. The other schools program doesn't have enough students, so they were talking about layoffs. I figure they would start with the newest people and work at after school program. Okay. Yeah, I do see there is interest. So there could be people getting in at the last minute, enrolling, so this makes sense with the mentor-mentee relationship with the after school program, because, you working as more the mentor role of, the younger people. I see this working out. Woo! Victory. It's working out. Yeah. And then the magician. So creative solution. So if it appears right now that it's just not going to happen because there's lack of interest or something, it's almost like you're manifesting people to show up. It's almost like I'm seeing in my mind's eye, if you've ever played the Sims games, like the Sims 2, the Sims 3, the Sims 4. It's like you decide as a Sim, I'm going to go to the store or the town, and I'm going to visit this nightclub. Well, once your sim gets to the nightclub, there might only be like 1 or 2 townies, as they call them, or NPCs at the nightclub. But once your sim gets in there and starts doing stuff, it's like more people start populating, more people start showing up, because it basically, the algorithm of the game says, oh, we got to get people over here. Yeah, see, the program will be ending this year. We did receive another grant. Didn't receive. Well, I feel like there might be reception of a new grant, or there's some relief coming in, and I kind of started the reading that way. There's a yes. Yeah. And it's because they don't want to lose this program, because it's going to really benefit the children. You know, the pages are children energy, or, you know, the younger people. It's going to benefit the after school people. So I would say yes, there's another grant, or maybe a reconfiguration of funds, or something that's going to happen to make this program still be a thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, you're still going to be here. Things are shifting, things are changing, but you know, you can manifest, even if it's weird too, because I can almost see 2 outcomes with this. That if it's not this specific after school program, it's like you're hopping ship at just the right time to another after school program that can then be the longer term thing for you. If it does end this year, you're like jumping ship before it ends, though. You're jumping ship before it ends, if that's the case. If you want to stay where you're at, it's almost like you can manifest or create that reality for yourself. Yeah, I really hope so. I was thinking of working part-time there and part-time doing substance abuse counseling. There you go. Yeah, maybe you're also just supplementing your income with, you know, and there's King of Swords on the back to clarify that, yeah, you're feeling in control of your finances and feeling really good about it. So yeah, and being able to speak into reality what you want to see manifest, for sure. All right. So go ahead and post your second question, unless you already did. Let me just scroll up. But we have an ad coming in a few seconds here. Well, 32 seconds. You do have your second question. We will wait just a moment here. I'll read the question, but we'll do the reading after the ad. How's that sound? So Kirsten's second question is, how can I get back my motivation to start a business? I feel dead when it comes to motivation. Yes, I've been there too lately. But there's been this like major collective breakthrough. At least I'm sensing it as a collective energy, and we're running an ad. So I'm going to take a quick little break. Those watching the replay are like, what ad? There's no ad. But I just don't want to keep going with Kirsten's reading in case she got pulled away. But yes. As far as, getting that motivation back to start the business. Yeah, you're back. Awesome. Good. Okay, so we can continue on. Yes, it's the ebb and the flow. And specifically when it comes to our desire and our passion for something, we usually need to look to our Venus. Well, Venus has been retrograde it'll be on September 4th, 40 days previous. So over a month and some change here that Venus has been retrograde. And of course, the shadow period of it kind of stationing to go retrograde. And then, of course, once it goes direct on September 4th, we're going to have another couple week period of it just kind of remaining in that energy before it really starts going forward again. So wherever your Venus is located in your chart, and also where the sign of Libra and Taurus are in your chart, and any planets associated with your Venus, squaring it, conjuncting it, opposing it, any of the things, and also any planets in your any planets in your Libra or Taurus in your birth chart could be indicating areas of life or people. I would have to say that there's some sort of aspect to your career house, which is the 10th house, and also your 6th house, which is your like day-to-day routine. Motivation a lot of times can also be found in the 10th house, but also the 6th house. And also wherever your Mars is placed can be like this drive, passion, and motivation factor as well. To me, it feels almost like Mars and Venus really do rule that motivation and drive. Saturn is more just, I show up, I do it. I don't really have a passion for it, but I'm just showing up and going through the motions. It can be. But if Mars sometimes is associated with Saturn, you can really have a passion and go the distance with something. But a lot of times you can also be delayed results. I know, because I have my Saturn and my Mars conjunct in my 12th house in Virgo. Talk about one foot on the gas, one foot on the brake. My whole life. So I feel your pain because it's literally written in my stars. Yeah. And I get the same way. I get really motivated on something. I have all these ideas and I have all these action steps ready to go. And then something either throws a wrench in the gears, or I just feel exhausted, or just I'm very like scattered energy with my like just focus. Something always happens. But here's the hot tip, Kirsten. I don't know how far you are away from being age 36. But Saturn does mature at age 36, anywhere between age 36 and 42. So if you're even on the more late bloomer end of the Saturn being completely mature in your chart, you won't have to wait much longer than age 42. But if you're in your like early 20s, that could be a long way away. But as far as your motivation and drive and desire with your Mars, that matures at age 25. So yeah, 28. So yeah, your Mars should be doing pretty good. And here it is. This is just taking a bit of a break, taking a bit of a respite, because you have been through a lot, Kirsten. You've been through a divorce. You've been through a lot of abuse and just, trauma through your life in multiple different ways. So really, this is kind of a time of reflection and rest, recuperation. Doesn't mean you can't do anything and you can't work and you can't have ideas. No. But for the most part, as far as that big drive, motivation, desire to get going on something, that's why. Because you are in a bit of a healing phase. And we have, the hermit, the healer himself on the back of the deck here, Virgo energy yet again, looking at us. But let's just see what you can do to get that motivation back. All right. Wow, look at this. We've got the Five of Swords in reverse, which I love to see with this question and what we are doing to clarify this question. There's the passion, the offering, the wanting to move forward with something you're emotionally connected to. And the just feeling like no matter what way you turn, you're burning out or just things aren't working. That's going into reverse. But when it goes into reverse, a lot of times we have to face it within us, go within. And what better time to do it than a universal year number 7, Virgo energy, hermit energy. Recently had a lot of healing from Roots Restored, and I think that might have to do with it. A lot of my motivation for my business had to do with trying to prove my ex wrong. Yes. And a lot of times when our motivations or drive behind a reason for doing something change or shift completely, it can almost just knock the wind out of what we're doing. But again, there's that re-examining and healing phase, just kind of taking that respite to, maybe the dreams themselves aren't wrong for you. Maybe they are absolutely in alignment with what you want to do. But the reasons you were trying to make them work just don't resonate anymore. But just tune in, do some journaling, do some just, go outside, look up at the stars, just allow your mind to wander over your dreams, your goals, connecting to your spirit, however, you don't have to go outside and look at the stars, but if you want to take a bath or just go in your room and lay down and close your eyes and listen to whatever kind of music gets you inspired or at least introspective, whatever way you get introspective, do that thing. Whether it's the journaling or the stargazing or the bath or the whatever. Maybe all of those appeal to you. Maybe try one night doing one night trying another, and just see if you get some insight. And another thing you can do is automatic writing. I highly recommend the book, Writing Down Your Soul. Actually, I think I have it somewhere close-ish. Well, I did. I had it not long ago. I don't remember who writes it or who wrote it, actually, but I know I have the book. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I don't know. It might be somewhere. It's somewhere. But it's called Writing Down. I'm going to Google it. And I highly recommend this book for anybody who wants to look into connecting to your true spirit and getting that communication out with your own handwriting. It's very powerful. Writing Down Your Soul. Okay, Janet Connor is the author. Yeah. And the book I have has this really wise owl on the front. There's a couple different covers for this specific book, but that's the version of it I have. Yeah, it's a great book to be able to get into connection with, not just why, but who, how, what, where, when, why, all the questions you could have, getting in touch and getting those answers from yourself. Of course, also you can muscle test, Bruce Restored Wellness, she's a huge proponent of muscle testing. And especially after you've had a session with her with all the like inversion that can happen with our muscle testing. If you're fresh off a session with her, your muscle testing will be much stronger than if it's been a while, unless you're constantly, refreshing your or restoring your possible inversion, because a lot of what's up is down and down is up and inside is outside and outside is inside. Inverted matrix, inverted society that we live in can make us feel confused. So yeah, but a lot of times when we get that guidance directly onto paper from our own hand, especially if it feels almost like, and of course, set very clear boundaries when you do this, because entities love to get in on the automatic writing. So you have to basically shield yourself within your own spirit energy and not allow any outside interference, no matter what their intentions are, into your automatic writing, because you can channel all sorts of entities. You don't want to go down that road. Unless you do, then go ahead. I wouldn't recommend. But yeah, connecting to your own spirit to get that information is going to be your best bet. But yeah, I think you basically hit the nail on your own question here as far as why you're feeling just unmotivated, because your motivations were to prove something to that ex or to get back at that ex. But once you get back in connection with your own spirit, your own reasons, your own why about things, that momentum will carry you much farther than trying to prove to other people, by taking action to prove to other people you're worthy or you're good enough or you're awesome or you're whatever. When you're not even trying to prove that to yourself, but you're just living from your light, whew, that is a whole other level of something amazing that you can accomplish when you're coming at it from that intention, for sure. So try that out, Kirsten. Let us know how it goes. All right, let's get into, I know we had another, or I think we did have another donation from, was it Mona? Oh, Marlene is here as well. And it looks like Marlene has donated for 2. So we got 2 1-card reads for Marlene that have come through anyway. Yes. And Mona has also donated for a full read. Twice for a full read. Okay, gotcha, Marlene. That's perfect. And then Mona, so let's update us here. So Marlene, you are first. So go ahead and post your question. We'll get right into it. And then Mona, aka Rosie. Rosie. And there's our current lineup. You guys got to skip to the front of the list because Earthy Deva and Vicky, I am timestamping their readings. Okay. All right. Oh, perfect. You're going to head downstairs for your evening walk. How fun. Evening walks are so therapeutic. I love it. So Marlene wants to know, is there anything I need to know about my job/career? I feel there's a stagnation in that area right now and lack of clarity. Do you see any forward momentum? All right, let's find out. I just saw on the back of the deck the 7 of Pentacles. I can't find it in the deck, but I saw it. Or sorry, not 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Cups. So you might be at a crossroads, or there's been a timeline shift enough to where you're just not feeling the previous job, the previous timeline anymore. Or again, a lot of like 3D, and I correct me if I'm wrong, I think you do work in real estate, or at least one of your jobs is in real estate. So if this job that you're asking about is not in real estate, same really would apply if you are. Just that the timeline you're on could just be there's some weirdness or some just, I don't know how to put this into words. Just stuff going on in more like the collective that is actually affecting your career and even your mindset about your career in whatever timeline you are in. But let's tune in specifically for Marlene, get some real good clarity here for her. Anything she needs to know about her job or career stagnation. Yeah, we got the star here. This is not just, asking for what you want, but like making it happen, making sure it happens. And the star does come after the tower, which feels like, oh no, maybe you are making a major shift in what you're doing. Haven't been feeling centered lately, doing real estate and cake decorator. That's right. But to me, the star is very creative energy as well. It's very Aquarian energy, which Aquarius is very for the greater good of humanity. So a lot of times, specifically when we're kind of wondering, is my job fulfilling? Am I helping anyone? What's my purpose? Just tuning into how, when you show up to do what you do, how that helps other people, or how it brings a smile to someone's face, or, the real estate aspect of it, all the beautiful, loving memories people are going to build in the home that you're selling to them, or, if you're renting your properties out, if you're more of like a landlord kind of thing, just thinking of how you're benefiting people, whatever that looks like. The cake decorator, the celebration that the people are showing up for, and them oohing and awing over how cute or magical or beautiful the cake looks. You are part of people's memories, when you are creating things, or working a job, like either of those two jobs, you are part of making people's memories. So there is a sense of purpose in that. But let's just see how Marlene, how she can overcome this stagnation. And again, I think a lot of it is very collective. So many people are feeling with a lot of this retrograde stuff, but the stagnation really comes to the surface so that we can really start to examine, am I even in alignment doing what I want to do? And maybe the answer is yes, but the way you're doing it isn't quite in alignment. But again, if you want to check out our collective reading we did more at the beginning, I did a little bit of blah, 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 blah at the beginning, but you can kind of scroll forward to the collective if you did miss it. I think a lot of that could clarify some of this energy you're just feeling maybe stagnant. But I love this fact that I use the after tarot, because there's such different connotations of these cards than your regular deck. So it's very interesting that you might literally be pouring out or doing away with one of these income streams. If not for just it doesn't have to be forever, but it just could be that you want to just, if it's about one or the other, you could just say, I'm no longer taking clients right now, but I'll let everybody know when I am, or just taking a bit of a break to really allow that spark to reignite. And that's kind of something similar to what I've been doing over on my pick a card channels, because I was still all summer just kind of waffling back and forth. Do I go with Harmony Portal Tarot? Do I go with the Done Creative? Because I can't keep doing both. I'm gonna have to just choose one and go with it. And I think I've made my decision. So I'm gonna kind of have to kill one of my darlings, so to speak. So he's literally pouring out the opportunity that was offered to him, deciding, no, I'm done with this. But it's almost like the dumping out of one can really help funnel or fuel the other, funnel the resources, the nutrients, the abundance from one into the other. But if you don't want to get rid of either of those income streams, it could just be more of a, kind of deciding to cut back on taking clients, or just giving yourself more time, or working less hours so that you're giving yourself more time to really refill your cup. Because you might just be very depleted in just not, Marlene as the mom, Marlene as the daughter, Marlene as the wife, just refilling your cup as Marlene the amazing, Marlene the spirit, having this human experience, whatever refills that cup for you. Because again, you just might be depleted of your own joy, happiness. And of course, we can find joy and happiness through all the different, being a mom, being a wife, being all these things. But there also should be things you're doing, or not should be, do what you want. But you would benefit greatly from doing things that are just for you, for a frivolous reason, or just because. Feel financially stagnant. And that can be, this person is just kind of bored with life. And deciding to shake things up. And especially now we've got an attack going on here. So I'm hearing plan of attack. So you might be deciding to kind of step away from one or the other of these two avenues to get perspective, which is coming because you started this with the star. So the thinking you're doing, because Aquarius is an air sign. It's the highest air sign in the wheel of the zodiacs. And it is of the greater good. So really tuning into how you can serve humanity, but also get a little coin in the process, because there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. You will start to see these answers come forward. And I just saw the Ace of Cups on the back of the deck. So it's almost like falling back in love with what you do. Yeah, and then look, I'm somehow shuffling this upside down. So there's maybe some chaotic energy. The fact it came out in reverse, though, it feels more like an internal battle, an internal struggle, or even belief systems or feelings of your own worth, because a lot of times wands do represent that more spirit aspect of us. Just maybe not knowing how amazing you are on a deeper level, and even a human level, that you don't give yourself enough credit. And so it's like an internal shift to your belief system, or maybe even possible lack mentalities. Like if you did grow up living paycheck to paycheck, or have had some financial woes in your past, whether it was through your parents, grandparents, great grandparents, or, you yourself as a younger, person, it's like finding your way through those lessons you learned. And, the death card being in reverse as well. Again, more of an internal death than like everything falling out around you in a like big death kind of way, like losing a job, losing a house, losing a loved one. That death energy is, you can't come back from it. But when it's in reverse, this to me feels more of an internal. And yes, technically you can't come back from it because you're a different person. You have, not in a bad way, you have evolved yourself. So through this kind of stagnant energy, and maybe even feeling this stagnation in finances, a lot of us do equate how much we make to our sense of self-worth. And especially, Marlene, if you are someone who does that, there could be just some examination you're doing, kind of trying to separate out how much money you bring in and trying to equate it with how much you are worth as a person. Because a lot of the job you do as a mom, as a wife, as, just a kind human being on this planet, you don't get credit or cash money for. But you are very just worthwhile and priceless to the people in your life. And if you can tune into and see yourself through their eyes, it's almost like you can bump yourself up a little bit on your own, patting yourself on the back, giving yourself a boost to your self-worth that I think is just sort of desperately needed. So I don't know if that's something you've always struggled with, or maybe just even recently struggled with at all, but it's something you're shifting and changing. Again, it's going to be like an inside out kind of shift rather than external forces are then forcing that internal shift. It's almost just like it's coming from the whispers of your spirit. Like your spirit's whispering that you want more, not in a maybe more finances or more this, more that, but more joy, more sense of just purpose behind what you do. And especially if you're someone who at times thinks what you do is frivolous or not good enough, again, stepping back and looking at it through the lens of love, or from a new perspective, that what you do is valuable, it is worthy. And even if you can't really point to, well, that seems frivolous, there's all these bad things going on in the world, why am I wasting my time? We could all get in that line of thinking, and then nothing would ever be accomplished again, because yes, there's always something bad going on, and we always feel bad about ourselves in one way or another. But this is you doing a major glow up from the inside out with the way you see yourself and the way you just kind of show up in your own environment. It feels very powerful to me, though, this shift. So any stagnation that you're currently feeling, it's actually aiding, or there's that the energy we started with. There's new timelines available that you don't have to play small anymore. Trying to get these back upright because some of them got flipped somehow. But yeah, so again, oops, wrong one. But the Two of Wands, making plans and then following through. But that Emperor energy coming back out on top as the sovereign or the leader or the ruler of your own life, without feeling the need to try to prove anything to others, or to, put your self-worth, in relation, or having it have to equal to whatever it is you make as income. Yeah, definitely struggle with self-worth. I know in my head, but trying to know in my heart, right? And that's the hardest part. And once you can work through some of these lack mentalities or just self-worth issues, it's like the money naturally comes in. Because think of, and gratitude is something too that can really play a role in, even if you're feeling your finances are stagnant. It's like almost every time you write a check or push paid on an online bill you're paying or something, instead of just like, well, there goes that money and never see that again, just know that that money and even more is coming back to you. When you have this sense of gratitude that you even do have the money to be able to pay the bill or do the thing, whatever it is, it's like that sense of gratitude grows. And something Roots Restored Wellness, Raylene, was talking about on her live stream on Monday was, and this really put it in perspective for me. It was like kind of a little epiphany of, when you give someone something, pretend you are the universe and you give someone something and they are so touched and just grateful and appreciative of what you've given them, you almost want to just keep giving them stuff, right? You're like, oh, that made me feel so good. Okay, I want to give you more because you're so appreciative of this. But then say, out of the kindness of your heart, you gave someone something and they were just like, or they just expected it and didn't even acknowledge you gave them anything. You'd think twice before wanting to give that person anything else. And that really, same with our gratitude, with our own abundance, our own blessings. The more appreciative we can be of the things, even that we may take for granted every day, the better off we're going to be, energetically speaking. It made so much sense when she kind of made that connect for me. I don't know. It just made so much sense. And I dropped a whole bunch of cards. So, Marlene, maybe you really are shaking things up in your life and, just seeing things in a whole new way. I just heard A Whole New World, like that song from Aladdin. So I don't know if that's relevant to your life in any way, or maybe something in the lyrics of that song. And I have not seen Aladdin in years, so I don't know why that song's coming to my awareness. But there it is. Let me get, okay, I think those 3 are your cards. They just did not want to come play today. They wanted to do their own thing. So I'm going to pick those up after I get all these put back. Stand by, everybody. I know I'm a hot mess right this second, but I want to get these back in order. But that could just be that you're just needing to take some time to just, okay, that one's upside down. Okay, let me put this one. Don't even want that one anymore. You're just taking stock, and it takes time. It's not something a lot of times we can just, wish that we had everything figured out and then boom, it's figured out. No, sometimes we got to work at it. So we have the 8th house, transformation of mystery. Yeah, it's a mystery how things are going to transform for you, Marlene, but they are working in your favor. 3rd house, communication and interaction, and 9th house, learning and faith. So having faith, having also gratitude, but learning a lot through this gratitude as well. And of course, these are opposites on the zodiac. So you might even have placements that are opposite. They don't necessarily have to be in Sagittarius or Gemini or 3rd house, 9th house. But if they are, I think that's an even more potent message for you of, just the being able to communicate on a small level of Gemini and then really amplify it into that like more published energy of like the Sagittarius, the more purposeful energy. I understand what you said. I've seen Aladdin and love the song when I was younger, but no relevance right now. Right? Yeah. And it could even be that, something that you dreamed about as a child that you maybe put on the shelf, or, another thing with Aladdin, the big thing is the lamp, the genie making the wishes, things going awry, but then, things work out in the end. And I don't even remember how that movie works out. It's been years since I've seen it. So I don't even remember like all the plot points. Couldn't tell you how it ends. Couldn't tell you the major conflict. I don't even remember. It wasn't, I would say, it was more for me, Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast, like in that era of Disney, like early to mid 90s, putting those movies out, that I was more involved in, I guess, personally. But yeah, maybe just whatever what's the word? Like the main, God, sorry. It's like the premise, not the premise, like the theme, whatever the main message or theme of Aladdin is maybe very relevant to what you're going through now. just trying to understand who you are and your sense of self-worth. If I remember correctly, Aladdin was kind of like I don't know if he was a grifter or just kind of down on his luck and didn't have a lot. But by the end, I remember he was wearing a lot nicer clothing than he was in the beginning. I don't remember, but maybe there's messages in that for you. Yeah, resources and values. So they're, again, going like kind of like the rags to riches energy is kind of what's coming through for me. So I don't know if rags to riches was like a thing in Aladdin, but the second house is your resources and your earning potential, your assets throughout your life. Yeah. All right, Marlene. We maybe went a little long on that, but I don't think. And look, to close it out, career and success, 10th house. There's some success, rejuvenation coming to this part of your life, which is exactly what you were hoping for. Yeah, a lot came through, but I couldn't just cut it off because it needed to come through. So there you go. A lot going on. Yeah, and rewatching Aladdin. Yeah. Thank you, Kirsten. You're sweet. She's like, gosh, you're a good tarot reader. Well, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's the thing is like other tarot readers, any of us could get the same cards and have completely different readings because it's all about the way we interpret it and our own perspective on the world. And you just never know. You just never know. But I think there's a rhyme and a reason why a person will pick this tarot reader today and maybe another one tomorrow. And you get the message you need when you need it. That's just my own personal belief on it. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So I think Kirsten had said she was donating again. But we have Rosie up next, and then Kirsten will be on deck after Rosie, aka Mona. So Mona, go ahead and post your question. We'll get right into it for you, my dear. And then, yes, Kirsten for another one card read. We are cooking through. There we go. And there we go. All right. So, rest of 2023 guidance as much as spirit and the universe will allow. Peace, light to everyone here. Thanks, Amanda. You are so welcome. Let's tune in for Mona, aka Rosie, aka Mona. Spirit knows who we mean. Yes. Rest of 2023 guidance for Rosie. Mona. Ooh, we got some clarity coming in hot. So you're going to get some information that may have been eluding you, evading you, just things you didn't know you needed to know until you knew them. So basically, there's some good news. And to me, this feels like empowering. This is not like bad news coming in. Or this could even be you hearing from someone you haven't heard from in a long time, especially if you view them as someone younger than you. They don't technically have to be younger than you, but if you feel like a big sister or like an older soul than this person, if they are older, it could also be their energy. But if you have children or, nieces, nephews, that could also be their energy coming through. But let's just see as far as the rest of 2023. Does Rosie, aka Mona, need to know? Ooh. So you might be signing a contract. So there might be news coming in, or you're hearing back about possibly a job. This to me feels very career oriented. But if you are planning to get married, or maybe you're meeting the love of your life, I don't know. It could be that, but I'm getting more of a career type vibe. Yeah, even having like knowledge, like from your true spirit, come through. Knowledge is coming through that's going to benefit you greatly in your career, but also in your just personal life endeavors, your hopes, wishes, and dreams, just the things you want to spend your time doing. Because this is something a lot of us do in this like grind and hustle society. A lot of us will think, okay, someday this is going to be great and that's going to be perfect and I'm going to look like this and this and this. But we don't realize, and actually we almost just borrow against the present moment to think and dream about the future, or to really ruminate and dwell on the past. But when we can and this is, to me, feels, Mona, like a major message coming through for you, that all of your power, every single drop of your power resides, but realize, ooh, maybe that's another part of this. Every drop of your power resolves itself in the now moment. It resides in the now moment. The only time we have available to us ever is right now. The only time we can ever make a choice, take an action, say what's on our heart is right now. And I'm getting chills too. And I'm almost seeing this as like a major, like another collective message for everybody who's listening right now or on the replay as well can benefit from this message. And what's staring at me here is the third house, communication, interaction. And that's what we were really tuning into for you, Mona. But for you specifically, Mona, is, yeah, right, you blink and you're 40 learning this, right? I'm 41 and I'm learning this too, right? Yeah, and you have anti-vibes. I love that. Yeah, and this could even be, you know, reaching out to your siblings, because third house does specifically your younger siblings, and we've got that younger energy as well. So if there's any, this could even be soul contracts you've had if you do have younger siblings, but if you don't have younger siblings, it could just be siblings in general. Usually older siblings are more 11th house related, but you know, usually if we're going to generalize sibling house, it's usually third house. But also third house is cousins. So if you don't have like cousins or siblings, it could be cousins or people who like soul sister, soul brother kind of energy. If you don't have siblings, but also communication and interaction, just how you communicate with your, you know, third house is also neighbors. So basically the people that are close to you in proximity. And back in the day, a lot of people would live in close proximity, of course, obviously to their siblings, because you grew up in the same house most of the time. But also your cousins and your neighbors, you know, all that close proximity. And your friends. Friends also third house energy, very Mercury energy as well. So there could be just this need to get present with the people in your life that are in your neighborhood, that are your sisters, your friends, your village, your tribe. Yes, all of this. Specifically those around your generation and the younger generations. Then we have like traditional, like values, traditional spin. So there could be that you're communicating beyond just traditional. So maybe you are even talking more spiritual topics with the people in your life, and really vibing with them on a deeper level than maybe you had in the past. Or if you are having like a heart-to-heart relationship or connection with a sibling or a cousin or a neighbor or a friend, it just feels deeper than it had in the past. But if these are like cousins or extended family, they might be people you met through your mother, or they're maybe on your mother's side of the family. Could even be someone from your mother's side. I'm getting like grandfather. Could even be great grandfather energy on the mother's side coming through. It's very interesting. I don't know if you did know of this guy, the great grandfather is what it feels like a great grandfather. He had some sort of like authoritative role, like I don't know, like a cop energy or like a mayor energy or even like teacher, professor energy. Just couldn't be just head of the household energy, but I'm getting like authoritative vibes. So he could have been like hard on, like, it would have been on your mother's side. So, and not grandfather, not meaning your mother's father, but like your mother's father's father could be, or your mother's mother's father, whichever one you're mostly feeling, that's the one coming through. So he could have been very hard, even harsh with words, but it's like he's coming forward to like say sorry, like apologizing for, you know, the generations that come after, for his harshness, for his tone. Yeah. And it's like he didn't get the spiritual message of maybe going a little easier on people, maybe not yelling so much, maybe not, and it didn't feel like physical abuse, but maybe verbal abuse, or, you know, telling someone they weren't worthy in the family line. And that could be something that has kind of carried through, you know, those older generations down into your generation, and maybe even continuing down your mother's family line in those generations. But there's a major healing coming to this. Yes, major healing coming to this the rest of this year, in your, specifically with you, Mona, but also your family. So you're not the only one benefiting from this reading here. It's also for your family. Even if they're not spiritual, they don't really tune into any of this, they're still benefiting. You know, energy doesn't just find its barricades, and that's that. What else does Mona need to know? Yeah, this is taking a very interesting turn. I didn't expect. I thought we'd probably touch on career, you know, this, that, and whatever. Nope. Yeah. Wow. This is about receiving the healing, receiving the communication, from spirit, that great grandfather energy coming through to say, I'm sorry, or apologizing, or even this sense of forgiveness from the younger generations going on up the chain. But it says here, receive. Be open to receiving goodness. Believe you are worthy of abundance. A gift is coming to you soon. And maybe some of this good news coming in and a contract being signed is the gift of better job, better housing situation. There's just something that you may have dreamed of, wanted to manifest that just wasn't really happening. News is now coming forward that you're going to be able to receive. But again, I think a lot of this healing coming in is for your ability to now receive it, where before you, of course, on a conscious level, you're like, I want it, so why can't I have it? Well, on a more subconscious level, you're like, well, I don't deserve that, so why would I get it? And kind of what we were talking about with the gratitude right before your reading, I think that also applies here is, when you really have this gratitude for what you already have and who's already in your life and all this, it just opens the door for more good things to come in. And I think that's what you're really focusing on the rest of 2023 is allowing the good things to come in and not worrying so much about the future or dwelling so much on the past, but getting really present in the moment. Like just being very present in the moment, because that's where the power lies. That's where we can take action. That's where we can make decisions and change for the better. Of course, it takes those next future now moments, a now moment next week, a now moment a month from now, to keep that momentum going with actions and intentions and all that. But right now is when you can start, right? Literally right now. Major momentum you can build between now and the end of the year with what you want to accomplish in life. Yeah, I got that. We might be gimme externally, but internal is different, right? Right. And even on a conscious level, like, I know I deserve this. So why do I keep sabotaging myself? Or why does it keep being denied to me when I know I deserve it? A lot of times it is a subconscious programming. And you're cutting ties with a lot of that lack mentality and even people in your life. It could even be family members if that, applies. If there are certain family members that are just so stuck in those old ways of being, in those old roles, in the old systems, in the tradition of it's always been this way, so it'll always have to be this way. No, you're finding ways to cut ties with the oppressive past and to really tune into what is deserved to you and not denied to you, because you are now open to what? For those in the back, receive. Yes. All right, let's get one more. Oops, dropping everything here. All right. For Mona, anything else for the rest of this year? And Mona donated above and beyond the 22. So I want to honor that. So yes, here we have balanced emotions. So if you've been emotionally just kind of numb, or then swaying to just emotionally just overwhelmed and sad or angry, or if you've been all over the place emotionally, this is letting you know the rest of the year there's some balance coming to that, and you're going to feel more in control rather than allowing your emotions to take you for a ride. You're still, yes, allowing yourself to feel how you feel, but you're putting it in perspective because you're getting real present in the moment. You're not allowing how you feel and your emotions to make you worry about something coming 3 months from now, or dwelling on that thing you said last week to this person and how they took it or didn't take it. This is about getting present and, very, very King of Cups, King of Cups energy. And we've got the Knight of Cups staring at me on the back of the deck here. So it's like an upgrade, jumping from the Knight to the King. It's like you're even skipping, you're just quantum leaping, skipping the Queen, going right to the King. Not that the King is better than, the Queen. The Queen is more intuitive, and then the King is more practical with the emotional state. But it's almost like you're just encompassing all of it, really, is what you're doing. But a lot of times before we can get there, we have to just know what we're doing, know what we're faced with, know what's going on emotionally, physically, mentally, all the things, spiritually. And then deciding to make a step in a direction that feels emotionally fulfilling. So yes, emotions can play a great role in allowing us to know things about ourselves, about our environment, but they shouldn't be the only driving force to get you where you're going. But that's the plan here, is to balance your emotions so that you can use your logic, your intuition, your emotions, just all the things to make the best choices for yourself moving forward. Because you might be walking away from something that's just no longer serving you, especially if it's something that has stifled your sense of motivation, sense of purpose, sense of passion for life, whether this is your career, your hobbies, your connections with people. You're leaving behind the things that are making you feel oppressed or stifled or just not worthy. Because the Queen of Wands, as the last card coming out here, and this one's just staring, and this one's just staring. Okay, I gotta stop. Falling back in love with yourself really is the name of the game with this combination here. This could be love coming in if it's already in your life. This could be a rejuvenation of the love that's in your life. Doesn't always have to be romantic, but it can be. But also just your love of your own self, loving yourself on a deep spirit level, and also the star. So some sort of wish that you have. And it's not just something you've wished for and then walked away from. No, this is something you've maybe wished for and then taken steps toward. As my friend just Sandy says, make a wish and then make it happen. Because a lot of times we can sit and wish on a star and make all these wishes. But if we're not actively, in every now moment that we are, working toward it, taking action in that direction, it's pretty probable it won't happen. So this is about making the wish and then making it happen by stepping into your authentic self. So maybe part of what you're walking away from is those inauthentic parts of you, doing certain things because you don't want to rock the boat, or allowing people to trample your boundaries because you don't want to have a confrontation. Well, you might have to have a confrontation with a couple of people just to let them know where you stand. And if they have a problem with that, that's their problem, not yours. All right, I feel like we need one more. We're going to go this cute little rabbit deck here. Anything else Mona needs to know for the rest of 2023? 2. So home and rain. Okay. So the rain to me is very cleansing and purifying energy. Might even benefit you to fall asleep or just to even relax in your home with the sounds of rain going on. Especially if it's really hot where you're at and you wished it would rain. Sometimes just listening to rain sounds can be very cleansing, even just to calm your mind if your mind is very busy. We have the number 24 here, which adds up to that 6, which is all about that balance, and it's about nurturing. So maybe even taking showers or going in natural bodies of water if that's something you want to do, or taking a bath. Really connecting to the water element, but also home. So there might be some cleansing, decluttering, clearing up of things around the home to make it feel more at home. And of course, the home that you take everywhere on this, realm when you're incarnated is your physical body. That's the first home, the first vehicle you have in this incarnation. So cleansing the home of your body and creating homeostasis, I just heard in my mind's ear, mind's eye, mind's ear, whatever. So creating homeostasis, I know that's balance, in a natural environment. Homeostasis is a nice balance. So if you've been having digestive issues or just feeling inflammation or pain or something going on in your body, it's you're trying to get your body back to homeostasis. Could even be having something to do with the pH balance of your your body. I mean, so much is coming through. Now my right ear is ringing. So much is coming through for you, Mona, that you're just ready to make a change, a big change in how you even feel at home in your own body, in your own home, in your own community, in your own career, in your own world. You are making changes, purifying, clearing away what's no longer serving you to feel more emotionally in step or in balance with what you want to experience. Not just settling or going along to get along, because, I better, just fit in here. No, it's you're finding that emotional and homeostasis balance within you, and then your outer environment will raise up to match you where you're at. So it's not you have to be that chameleon to your environment. No, you can create that environment that you would love to see on the internal and the external. It starts within, in the present moment. That's where you have your power. And then eventually, in a future now moment, you'll start to see that reflected in your external reality. because, you look around your home, you look at the clothes you're wearing. These are all manifestations of your past. So you are a living, walking, eating, breathing version of your past self. It's in the now moment, though, that you can create in a future now moment. Again, it'll be a manifestation of your past self, but if you don't like what's around, what you're looking at, what you're seeing, tasting, touching, sensing, smelling, all things, you could change it. But again, the now moment is where you change what you don't like or even enhance what you do like. All right, Mona, a lot came through for you, but I think you needed it. I think you just needed that little extra, just like Marlene did as well. You ladies just need a little extra something to come through. And who knows, maybe the rest of the readings tonight are going to be the same way. I don't know. I always have it in my mind, like, I need to stick to like 5 minutes and under 10 for sure. And then I just keep going and going. But hey, it's not about that. It's just about getting the message that needs to come through. Lady in the mirror. Yeah, right? You go deep with your readings. Yeah, they're going to a whole other level tonight for sure. And I just heard when I'm bending down to pick these up that these are a message for everybody watching. So little intermission, little message for everybody here. So we have Goddess, honor your divine feminine energy, see your inner beauty, and love every part of you. So there's one message coming through. Courage, you are safe, fear is an illusion, set strong boundaries. Wow, these are all really in alignment with what we just got from Mona as well. And then celebration, a positive outcome is assured, celebrate your success, enjoy your achievements. I love it. So this is definitely part of your message, Mona, but anyone else who would love to claim these, it's yours for the taking. And then leadership's on the back of the deck. So you're going to be the leader in your own life. That's sovereignty in your own life, everybody, to make these changes because no one can do it for you. Yes. All right. I am going to check the state of the list just to make sure I'm up to date. But Kirsten did say she had donated for another one-card read. And then yet another one-card read. So 2 1-cards, or do you want to combine that and do a bigger read? Kirsten, let me know. Because I see 2 more 11-11 readings here for you. All right. And we still have our, before we get into the timestamps, 2 1-cards. Awesome. We'll go ahead and post your first question, Kirsten. We're going to get right into it. And then after Kirsten's second question, regardless if we get any other donations or not, we're going to do our giveaway. Okay, how's that sound? So we're going to do Kirsten's 2 1-card reads that are never a 1-card read for me. Let's just put it this way. You always get more than you pay for with me, at least at the face value part of it. But the energy exchange to me is very balanced because I love what I do and I love helping and I love being able to do what I do. So to me, it's so worth it. All right. Oops, we got cards coming out. I feel this is part of Kirsten's though. Okay, so we have the 5 of Cups. So this is maybe current energy or how you're feeling right now. And read your question. Will I be able to find a job as a substance abuse counselor? Will it make me happy and successful? Okay, so to me this feels like current energy, like we were saying. You don't have the job yet and you're kind of feeling like, oh, I wish I could have it and I don't have it. There might be some opportunities to be able to have it. But again, it feels to me like a mindset shift because a lot of times this person is in mourning or they're at least emotional right now. So you might have an emotional trigger or connection that's kind of taking up space for you right now. That's not allowing you to now focus on the substance abuse counselor stuff. Let's see as far as will it lead you to happiness and success? Absolutely. Absolutely it will, because I think you will love helping people on that level. That is something that, anyone, I haven't personally struggled with any like drug or alcohol addiction in this life, but I have tuned into a past life where I was a hardcore alcoholic and it was difficult. So my heart goes out to people who deal with substance abuse issues and I've seen, people in my life that have, taken their own lives or just really struggled and still even to this day struggle with, substance abuse. And it breaks my heart. I wish I could take all the pain away, and I really feel the same vibe from you as you wish you could just be this wizard or magician to really help these people work, because really any abuse issue, substance abuse, internet addiction, all these abuses and addictions that we get into, they're rooted with trauma. We had no trauma, we'd have no abuse. We'd have no or addictions. We wouldn't be abusing certain things. We wouldn't have addictions to certain things because there'd be no reason. But trauma's the hook. Trauma's what gets us in the door of addiction and abuse. And you, I think, as someone who's had a lot of trauma in your life, can really empathize with these people. And look, you will feel very passionate about this job, very fulfilled. You might even meet a future partner through your work, not meaning they're a client or anything, but just, I don't know, there's a commonality. Either this person also does the substance abuse counseling as well, or there's someone that you meet through networking of work, or maybe someone you work with as a substance abuse ooh, weird, counselor, like introduces you, like, oh, my brother, he's single, you should go on a date with him. You just never know. But somehow, some way, oh, you've been told that about my future partner before. Yeah. Somehow, some way you might meet this person because you have gone down the road of becoming a substance abuse counselor. And it's funny, I had that like slip of calling it a calendar. So it's almost like mark a calendar. I don't know for what date, but anyway, as far as being able to find the job, I think eventually, but there's just, again, mindset shifts. You're kind of in a stasis or like a rest right now. But yes, eventually, look, balanced emotions, when you can get your emotions in balance and do some of your own healing, which I think you've already well on your way. You've done a lot of that lately and in the past, and probably will continue to do some healing in the future. But a lot of times when we are in this like healing mode, I went through like 3 years solid where I'm like, I gotta heal. And I'm just doing everything to heal. And then I'm not allowing myself to enjoy the now partially healed version of me that didn't exist before because I was so traumatized by, past lives and this and that. But you have to at times allow yourself to just be who you are and not just always focus on that next healing fix or having to heal this part of you, that part of you, that part of you, that part of you, because especially like from the subconscious, if we're constantly seeking healing, that tells us we're broken in some way or we're not completely healed. So we're seeking the healing. So there's maybe even some, again, journaling or automatic writing you can do about getting to the root cause of some of the trauma to heal it so that you can come at your life from this state of blessings and happiness and joy. And I don't know that any career out there for anybody can make someone happy, but I think it can enhance if we are a happy person or have found happiness. That's one thing I've learned as a human being, at least in this incarnation for 41 plus years now. No person, no object, no hobby, no anything outside of me can create happiness for me. But it can enhance happiness we already have, for sure. It could be like the cherry on top. But the creation of happiness has to come from within us. And that's, I guess, the good news and the bad news of it. Because the good news is we don't have to allow others to provide that happiness for us. There can be the illusion, though, that being said, we can feel like someone else is making us happy or making us mad or making us sad. And no, I mean, yes, they're definitely contributing to it, but they're not the creator of it. Because it's our response to our environment, our emotional response to things that is, us. It's from us. It's not the other person creating it, even though it feels like it sometimes, right? But it's usually, think of someone cutting you off in traffic. You're already running behind. You already stubbed your toe on the way out the door. You're mad. Someone cut you off. It's their fault, but that's because all these triggers that have happened on your way out the door and now you got cut off in traffic are rooted again in trauma. So, again, getting to the root cause of what is making you unhappy in life and, just really tuning into how you can create your own happiness. Of course, your career can enhance it. Your partner can enhance it. Your family and friends and hobbies can enhance it, but it cannot create it. All right. Ooh, yes. Preach. Preach cards, preach. This is about us finding that emotional commitment that we want to go in a direction and emotionally connect or commit to something. But again, it's not that the person or the job or the whatever is going to create that. It might trigger certain things, but this is about you finding what fulfills you, and you will find it. And this is allowing, because of the reading that you're asking about, yes, you will find emotional contentment and probably part of your happiness in this, in this job, in this role. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. But again, it's coming from within and then being reflected without, right? All right. So I hope that resonated. Cool. I like to see it. But yeah, you're doing healing. But again, I was in like a 3-year rut of I need to heal, going all in on healing, just not allowing myself to even enjoy my day-to-day life because I'm like, I gotta heal. I can't waste time. It was a lot. I've kind of put the reins, on that a little bit. And yes, when I feel like I need to heal, I'll heal, but I don't make it my day-to-day agenda anymore. That being said, though, I'll probably go through another phase. Yep, already psychically tuning in. I'll go through another phase where I'm just completely purging it all. Again, I know I will. I just feel it. I know it. But I don't need to do it all the time, 24/7 for the rest of my life. Because I think even if we did try to heal and do all these things 24/7 the rest of our lives without doing anything else, we still couldn't be completely healed because we are in this, like, I don't know, for lack of a better word, hell realm. I mean, there's so much beauty here, but there's so much suffering and destruction and chaos, and just, I don't think we could just do it all in one lifetime anyway, But we can do the best we can with the time we have, and that's that. Yes, you can do it, Kirsten. Oh, you just graduated from your social work program and starting a full-time job. Your services are definitely needed. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I know a lot of veterans specifically that could definitely use that type of service for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, get your foot in the door with substance abuse counseling and go even further with social work. That would be awesome. Yeah, if you have a passion for it, it's needed. Yes, but there's the passion. There's the emotional fulfillment. It almost fills your cup up. But again, it comes from within and then is reflected without. All right, go ahead and post your second question, Kirsten. And then for those of you that are still here hanging out with us tonight on Woo Woo Wednesday, full moon, we are going to be doing the giveaway right after Kirsten's next one-card question reading. So don't go away. And it's very simple. It's not easy to win, I guess, maybe, but it's very simple. The directions, they're really not rules. They're just directions. If you're new here, just sit tight. I will go through the directions. There's no rules about it, just directions. It's very simple directions. Okay. Second question is, will I make enough money to move out within the next year or through the spring of 2025? Okay. So let's tune in for Kirsten. Second question, will she make enough money to move out within the next year or spring of 2025? Okay. So we'll say basically through that time frame. Ooh. Okay, so we have some things you are, again, working through healing as far as 2024 goes, but let's tune in more like through spring of 2025. There we go. Yes, there's literal closure and moving out. So it probably will be closer to 2025, but you don't have to feel as stuck as you are right now the whole time, because this is an illusion of being stuck or not being able to get away or get out or move on. Illusion of such. And a lot of it stems from our thought patterns, our process. You can make, basically what I'm hearing is making the most of your time there and actually maybe finding ways to have a good time where you're living. If you are having issues with your father, there can be ways where you are, just kind of almost working your way, not having to walk on eggshells around him so much, but just making the most of when he's at work, you're at home. And when he's at home, you're away, just doing things where you're not having to be home all the time in his energy. Vicky and Cheyenne, who you might see on the live stream once in a while, Vicky and Cheyenne Downey, they both are kind of in a similar-ish situation. Housing is expensive where they're at, and they're still living with their father and brothers, and it's just a toxic situation. And so my heart goes out to anyone who has to live because, they have no other choice but to be able to save money and have to keep enduring this type of living situation. It's very difficult, and my heart does go out to you. But even if you do feel stuck for the time being, there's a lot of creative ways you can not feel so stuck or not so bogged down or so controlled in the living situation that you're in. And actually, maybe even having a bit of fun and connecting. I don't know if your mom and dad are still together, or if there's other people living in the home. There could be someone who's almost acting as an ally to you in the home. So if you and your dad are kind of coming up butting heads, there could be someone else in the home that you are actually getting along with, having fun with, making memories with, that it's actually kind of balancing it out. It maybe isn't as bad as it, and maybe even just you. Again, I don't want you to just blindly forgive your father. But if there is some like resentment, wounds, trauma from the past, or even the present that you can release or let go of, that could help. It could help. And again, don't just forgive him just to say I forgive you and okay, now my life's gonna improve. You have to actually mean it. That's the whole part, like bad part of it, right? But there's some healing, and a lot of it to me does feel like his own childhood was very. If it wasn't a strict household, it was a very abusive household. So maybe he could come and go as he pleased, but when he came home, there was hell to pay or something. So it's almost like he's trying to continue the cycle, not purposely, but it's just what he knows. And something with my own father, I didn't grow up in the household with my father, and I've never lived with him for more than maybe 2 weeks at a time after the age of 2 in my life. But I've come to my own, realization with my own dad that he did the best he could with the consciousness level, the circumstances, the addictions, the trauma that he had. He did the best. He was the best father he could possibly be to me, even though it wasn't a great one at times and for the most part. But just me realizing that, okay, I came into this incarnation not needing a strong father figure in my life. I had a not so great example in many, many ways. But it's made me appreciate the mother figure I had in my life. And it sounds like you and your mom get along. So, and oh good, when she's home, he does behave. So that helps. But maybe even if you can, if it's at all possible, and I know it may not always be possible, if you could just have like a heart to heart, a sit down, a bonding moment with your dad. And a lot of times you're going to have to meet him on his level or his turf. So if he's someone who enjoys fishing, say, hey, dad, can I go fishing with you? Or if he's someone who enjoys bowling, hey, dad, it's like meet him where he resides. If he's someone who likes to watch the football game and drink beer or whatever, if you resonate with that at all, meeting him on his turf. And it can feel difficult and hard, especially if it's something you're not at all into, but that usually you'll get your foot in the door. And at least instead of the door being completely shut and closed, at least the door's now ajar. At least you can now, and it might even really, enlighten you that, okay, I don't really want him in my life after I move out at all. But again, you're getting information, you're getting clarity. Oh, you do watch movies and shows together. Okay, so that can at least be something, if it's a funny show, you can bring up, oh, remember when that thing happened and that guy said that? And oh my gosh, that was so funny. Or, if it's a more serious show, maybe there's some deeper, like, moments that happen in the show, like bonding moments between characters, or hard decisions that characters needed to make that can give you and your dad a deeper connection by maybe using these characters as a way to kind of segue into your own connection with your dad, or his connection to his dad, or his struggles in life, or your struggles in life. I would say more put the spotlight on him and empathize with him, because that could then allow him to shine that spotlight back on you. Because a lot of times if you're like, oh yeah, I struggle with this, and if he's like in not a receptive mood and you're like, well, you deserved it, or whatever it is he says or does to you, just showing that more empathetic side of you could really actually not just help you and not just help your dad, but also help, the future people you will teach or the future people you will counsel. You could really learn a lot from this, where you are right now, it is what it is kind of situation. You could actually learn a heck of a lot about yourself, about your dad, about connections at large that you wouldn't have that perspective on if you were to be able to right now afford to move out on your own. So I'm saying, or getting the message, to really make the most of this time, because what I'm seeing is once you move out this next time, you won't be going back. And there is kind of a, I guess, closure part of it, being 28. I was, let's see, we moved out in 2008 so from age 21 through 26. I lived, again, I had moved out after college, moved in with a boyfriend, lived, not after college, after high school, lived with the boyfriend, then moved back in with my mom, then moved back in with the boyfriend. It was a tumultuous relationship. And then moved back in with my mom, and then moved in with my in-laws for 4 years. So we could, my husband and I, well, boyfriend at the time, then future husband, could save up money for, to live a life, to buy a house and all the things. I was very grateful to have a place to live, but it was not always easy to live with my in-laws and have them all do my business all the time. And, there were really great blessings that came with it, but then also struggles, because I just wanted to be an adult, and I didn't feel like a real adult going to college in my mid-20s, being able to, do my own thing. I mean, I could still come and go as I pleased. There was no rules that I couldn't go do what I wanted, but just, having a living room of my own, and a kitchen of my own, and, being able to come and go at all times without, having to answer a bunch of questions. You know what I mean? It's like I just didn't feel like I could get on with my life or be an adult until I was out. But then when I moved out, it's like, oh, now a major responsibility, because now we have a mortgage, and now we have an electricity bill, and this and that and this and that. And it just was like, yes, there were great things about it, but there were also the downsides. So it's like, no matter what your lot in life is, there's always going to be the pros and then the cons. There always will be, and probably always will be, at least while we're in the third dimension. But yeah, you had forgiven him when you moved out, but then there's resentment since you came back, and he's back to his old ways. Yeah. And, every single relationship we have with others is a mirror of one aspect or another of us. And it's not to say that other people's poor behavior is our fault, or we manifested that, or, but there's something within us that needs that tumultuousness or love or beauty or whatever it is that we're getting in the relationship. There's a part of us that needs that on a deeper level, to evolve, or to become a greater version of ourselves, or to get more in alignment with our true spirit, our true essence. So it's not always going to be easy in this season of life that you're in, but I would say by spring going into summer of 2025, if you are diligently working and diligently saving and really budgeting, and not, overspending in certain ways, but really saving that money, building that nest egg up, you will be able to get out and, get on to the next, and not have to return to your parents' household again after you do move out. So you might have to wait a little longer than you were hoping, but it will be a lasting move, a lasting change to where you can't go back. It's a whole new cycle now after that. So yeah, whole new home, whole new, and you may even in this time, you just never know, Kirsten, this is a wedding card. You may just in this time meet the next love of your life that is going to be your forever person. And, eventually you are able to, work and save up, and also you've got this other partner and the income. You just never know. But at the very least, this card does represent a home, a move, and then your hard work paying off. So boom, you're doing it. Within the next 1.5 to 2 years, you're doing it for sure. As long as, and every now moment you're diligent, not every now moment, but the now moments that you're working and grinding and doing the thing, making the sacrifice to be where you're at, to be able to be where you're going to be, you're going to be able to do it. Again, time is a weird rubber band. So it could be longer depending on actions you take or don't take, or things you do or don't do. But for the most part, in this current situation, with the current question and the current everything, you're on track within the next 1.5 to 2 years to get out. Yes, absolutely. Oh, you're so welcome. Absolutely. All right. So we have an ad coming in 30 seconds. So let's get into our what? Giveaway. We're doing the giveaway. Okay, we're going to go to the After Tarot. So those of you that are here for the giveaway, now's the time. We have 18 seconds for an ad, or until an ad comes. But you can start shouting out tarot cards right now if you want. We haven't shuffled it out yet, but you can guess. So directions. I'm going to draw a card. You can guess or use your intuition or whatever as many times as you want. There's no limit. But the first person that I see on my screen that gets the card that we're drawing wins the reading. And if we're going and going and going and it's a pentacle and everybody's guessing everything but pentacles, I will then narrow it down and say, oh, it's pentacles or it's a major arcana. I'll throw you guys a bone. All right, here we go. Ooh, look at that. Okay. So let's see. I'm going to go back up just to make sure no one has guessed it yet. I don't see it yet. Okay. Yeah, I don't see it yet. So keep on keeping on, guys. First person to get it will win the free 1111, aka one card read. And I'll let you guys go for a moment and then I'm going to narrow it down. Okay, we're going to narrow it down. Not a major arcana. Not a major arcana. What is it? What is it? No one's guessed it yet. Okay. It is also not a pentacle. Not a pentacle. It is also not a court card. So what does that leave us? Wand, swords, cups. A number within, possibly an ace, who knows? Ace through 10. Make sure no one guessed it. All right, not seeing her yet, not seeing her yet. Okay, let's see. All right. It is a cups card. It is a cups card. Go, go. RZ, you have won. RZ has won the reading. It is the 8 of Cups. And Jessica Lynn was so close, so close. There it is. Look at that. So RZ, you have won. So go ahead and post your question, my dear. We're going to get right into it. Go ahead and post your question. And of course, this is part of the underlying energy of whatever the question is you're going to ask. Even if you are just now thinking of the question, of course, Spirit doesn't have to work by the constraints of time. So it's like Spirit already knows what your question is going to be, even if you didn't. All right. So go ahead and post your question. We'll get right into it. So how will the result of my son's school legal case come out with the current lawyer I am looking into hiring? Ooh. Okay, so there might have been, so if this doesn't sound like what you've already been through, this could be coming up in the future. So this to me feels like something that you had thought was going to work out, meaning probably the fact that he's even in this legal situation. So, you know, some fault of the school or, you know, whatever went on there. I don't know if your son had to be taken out of the school, but there's like a removal of energy is what I see. So this to me feels like the, yeah, it's how I've been feeling, or close to a year now. You did have to take him out. Okay. So then this is definite confirmation that this is regarding you having to take him out. But as a result of you having to take him out of the school, there's something more emotionally fulfilling either that has taken its place or very soon will take its place. And by very soon, I mean within the rest of 2023. So there will be maybe even a re-examination of what's happened. So specifically about the lawyer, let's ask about the lawyer. With the current lawyer you are looking into hiring, how this outcome will be. Victory, victory! So you're going to win the case, or whatever has transpired. There is celebration, victory, recognition. Any ego battles or use of ego that has happened with the school, or even lies, manipulation that has happened, the truth will prevail. The truth will come out, and there will be very clear evidence of what happened. In the court, it'll be like, signed, sealed, delivered, there's your victory. You might even be, I don't know if you had, I saw the chariot on the back, that's why I'm saying this. You might have even kind of debated between two lawyers, or, you know, you were thinking, oh, I'd have to do this, but then this other lawyer came on the radar. But the Chariot is yet another success card. So you're definitely going to succeed. And most likely with the lawyer you're thinking of hiring here. I think you're on the right track. But let's just clarify that it is the lawyer that RZ is thinking of. Yeah, literal lawyer vibes right here. This is authority. This is the letter of the letter of the law. So yeah, to me, like the judge of the, not the judgment, the justice would be like the judge, and the Hierophant would be like the lawyer. So I mean, freaking, can we get any more clear? Yes, yes, and yes. I just want to like pull a few cards though, just for like your peace of mind, reassurance, just any other information or advice that needs to come through for RZ, because we got a pretty clear yes right away and everything's gonna work out. It may not always be easy, because you know the Six of Wands does come after the Five of Wands, which is the battle, the resistance, the conflict, the chaos, but there's the victory. So yes, let's just see any words of advice or wisdom for RZ with this court case battle. Yes, I love it. Support and inspiration with Trine. So yeah, you have a lot of support. I don't know if you're calling any kind of character witness, or if there are like support, meaning not just you and the lawyer supporting your son. This to me feels like, I don't know if there's even support like with legal fees or any payment. You might just end up spending less than you're hoping to, or thinking you're going to have to. That's what I should say. Or any kind of legal fees will be paid off. I don't know. There's something of, you're like pleasantly surprised with something here. There is support evidence I got to give to the lawyer. Okay, there you go. That's definitely going to be a win for your case. Anything else RZ needs to know about this? Ooh, yes. Conjunction, fusion, and energy. So it's like a coming together. I don't know if this school situation, if there's maybe multiple people that had the same thing happen, even if it wasn't exactly the same thing, it's like the same vibe, or other victims, or there were other people involved that like deserve vengeance or revenge, or I don't know, something. It to me feels very like whoever was the perpetrator of something here is gonna get what they deserve in the most karmic way possible. But you're coming out, and your son is coming out smelling like a rose. So yes, there's probably stress, worry, anxiety about everything shaking out, but I don't see there's anything to worry about here. Let's see, hoping about the legal fees being less than what I have to spend because of the financial strain I've been in. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, that's what I've thought. There are other students that also deserve justice. Yes, felt that strongly. Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be like I don't know, it just feels to me like a group is coming together to support whoever's been wronged here. And it's not like you have to pay a whole bunch of money to get the victory, to get the justice, which is good. We don't want to have to do that, right? Let's just see anything else RZ needs to know about this situation. Yeah, banish a curse. Wow. So it's like it goes beyond just the material world / justice system. This to me feels like maybe the support and the fusion and energy is coming from spiritual places. So if there were like perpetrators or something that happened that was not right, it wasn't, and I'm not trying to excuse the people involved, like, oh, they're not completely innocent, but there was like dark forces working through them, if that makes sense. There was like dark, like entities, like interfering and causing chaos to make this thing happen. That if it was just the people involved without any kind of entity or dark interference, it wouldn't have gone that far, or it wouldn't have even happened in the first place, is really what I'm seeing. Oh, I have major chills. So RZ, what I'd like you to do, if this resonates for you, it would just to be the any and all hooks, attachments, entities, curses, just energy that is suppressing anything having to do with your son and anyone he's been connected to with this school situation. Banish it. Just, I rebuke you. My son is protected. And if you want to do this with him, if he's up for it, that's even more powerful. But even if you as the mother, you have that, parental authority to do this even without his knowledge because you are his parent, just to protect him and to, because I do still see like energetic cords from him to, the people who did this. And it's not that the people that did this themselves want these cords or created these cords. It's the entities working through them that are still benefiting from this case, even causing you stress, you anxiety, you financial, burden. There's a benefit going to these entities because of all of this, because it generates negative energy and then they feed off of it. And that's exactly why they even did anything in the first place. So you can use your sovereign, spirit, power and energy to banish any wrongdoing or any curses, any entity attacks, interference, and just rebuke it. And, you can even literally using your imagination is the best way to do this, because they try to, tell us from a young age, oh, grow up, quit using your imagination. Your imagination is everything, because you create worlds with your imagination. You create everything with your imagination. So imagining those cords coming out of you, your son, any other kids, energetically that, of course, you'd have to have their parents' permission to like really get in and do the fine tuning, but anyone that would give permission for this malfeasance and negative energy to be, done away with, do away with it and pull it out by the roots. Any negative energy or attachment, hooks, cords, pull it out, and then just envision your son and you and anyone else involved here that has been wronged, cleansed of the situation. And that alone will go so far, like so far. So try that out and see what happens. And of course, if you hear any news or updates, we love to hear updates. We love to hear what's going on. If it's like a while from now, you might have to jog our memories a bit, but we are here for the updates and to see how things played out. And, less curious cats over here. We like to see what happened, but I really don't see anything that is going to stand in your way as far as the legal system goes. Yeah, things are great. I mean, it's going to be difficult to have to go through, I'm sure, but things are working out in your favor and your son's favor for sure, for sure. Yeah, right. Literally. There's that mother energy, just, and being very intuitive. You might even have dreams or like premonitions or insights into what's going on or the outcome. And then there's your celebration. So yeah, you'll literally be dancing out of there like, yeah, about time, justice is served. Going to do that during the full moon. Yes. And today's a full moon, right? So yeah. And even between now and the next full moon, do what you want. Yeah, we did the moon card come out. So you can use that moon power to your advantage for sure. Yes. And it's given me so much peace of mind. I definitely will update you guys. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much. You are so welcome. I think it's just divine, that you won this tonight. I think that it was just meant to be. So thanks for joining us, RZ. And yes, absolutely keep us updated. We are wishing you nothing but the best, sending positive vibes and love your way, that everything works out. And hopefully you can get out of this without having to take out a second mortgage or something, because, legal fees can really add up. But to me, it felt like there was some help with that regard. So that's always a bonus, right? All right. So you are so welcome. Absolutely. All right. So let me just triple check. We didn't have any other donations come in. Let's see. Oh, I think we had another one come in for Kirsten. Let me know, Kirsten, if that was a new one. I've kind of lost count. You got a lot of good questions tonight, dear. A lot of good questions. Okay, let me just double check. Yeah, that was you again. Okay, I thought it was you. So we'll go ahead and do your question now that we're done with our giveaway. So go ahead and post your question, Kirsten. We're going to get right into it. And then I have 2 left to timestamp, and we're probably going to call it at that. Last one, I swear. Yeah, we'll probably call it at that, just so I can, go pee and hang out with my husband, who got home from work a little late. He had to work some overtime tonight. So I haven't even seen him since bright and early this morning. My kids went back to school today, so that was a nice transition, getting back into the swing of like a work day. What's that? I haven't had a like full work day since before summer. And it felt good. It felt good to just be back at work today. At work meaning at home. I work from home, but yes. When the kids are home for summer, I don't get a lot accomplished in the work department because they're here all the time. Or I'm out with them, taking them to different camps and places, you know? Yeah. Oh, you got a phone call to join Grant Cardone's coaching program. They said I seem like a good fit and they would call me in a few weeks when I got the money. Are they really going to pick me up? Should I take the opportunity? Okay. So I've never even heard of what that is. Never heard of it in my life, but we're going to tune in. Whoa. I just saw the 7 of Pentacles as I was trying to put those back. And then we have the 8 of Pentacles that fell out. So this is someone diligently working. There's a bit of patience. Oh, it's a billionaire. Okay, gotcha. So to me, I don't know if there's some sort of wait list with that 7 of Pentacles, like a patience card, a nurturing card. Could even be like a taking someone under their wing kind of card. But if they're more like no wait list, this is just kind of we do this and as long as you have the money, you're in. I would say maybe hold off on it. There might be something, I won't say better, because I think eventually you might actually take this coaching program, but there might be something you could benefit from before that may not be as much money, that you could still get a lot of benefit from and, you know, get some information under your belt. But if this is something, okay, so let me know, Kirsten, if this is something that they like waitlist people or they only take so many people, this is going to be a different reading than what I just said. So let me know to clarify that before we move on. But I did see the 4 of Swords on the back. So to me, it feels more like a program. But yeah, they take so many people. So it's almost like there's less going on with that. So that they can focus more energy on each person. Okay, this makes sense. So yes, what we're saying with this now is you might have to wait it out a bit because they're only taking so many people. And yes, maybe you do seem like a good fit, but I don't know if the finance part of it is maybe what's kind of holding you off for now or what. But again, if you do have the money, oh, you have a good one, Rosie, Mona. Have a good one. We'll see ya. But yeah, if you're wanting to save for this and then take it when you feel ready, or if they don't take you now, they might take you later, if that's the case. But you are still learning in the meantime. There's a lot you're learning. But if you are accepted, which it looks like you could be, if money's not an issue right now, and that's what you're waiting on is just to be accepted or not, you could be accepted. But let's just get some clarification. Yeah. There's the money and the acceptance. So long-term commitment. Oh, you're getting $13,000 in a few weeks. Whoa, look at that. That's a windfall if I ever saw it. And that's the windfall card. So the timing just might align and the stars just might align that you're ready to make a choice here to benefit your future. And putting in that hard work and effort and really honing your skills. You're learning a lot. So I would say if that's the investment you want to make and it's something really true to your heart, again, I would sit down because, you know, some of your like reasons behind why you wanted to do certain things have shifted. Really tune in and examine if this is a road you want to go down and why. If they're your reasons or external reasons, really get that good clarity on it. Oh, love, life, and enjoy, Shauna. You have a wonderful evening. Thanks for hanging out with us. Then I would say, you know, once you kind of do that soul searching or kind of introspection, then decide, bite the bullet. Even if they decide to take you before you've done that introspection, I would do the introspection. Just make sure you're doing this for the right reasons. You know what I mean? But I don't see any red flags here like it's a scam or anything. No, this to me feels like it would be a worthwhile endeavor if it is in true alignment with your spirit that you want to do this for your reasons, not for other people's reasons. Yeah, an opportunity that is going to build upon. You're going to be able to build upon this. look at all the pentacles here. So yes, you're spending money, but what I'm hearing is sometimes you got to spend money to make money. So I would say absolutely, if you are accepted, again, after you do the soul searching and you're doing it for you, not for others or to prove a point, if you're doing this for you, Kirsten, I would say this is a great opportunity, a golden, pun, golden opportunity for you to take this. If you're accepted, run with it. But if you're not accepted, don't give up, because I think at a later date, it would align that you would be accepted. Let's just get some words of advice or wisdom. Anything else Kirsten needs to know about this opportunity? Yeah. 6th house, work and routine. So your work and your routine will shift because the information you're learning, or maybe you're having to devote so much of your time to this program that you're going to your day-to-day life is going to look different for however the length of this program is, however long that is. So you're going to have to really kind of maybe figure out your priorities right now. And, again, doing your introspection and your soul searching will definitely help you out in this area anyway. But your work and routine are definitely going to shift after this. In a good way, though. In a good way. I see you being able to really feel more in alignment with what you're doing with your work and your day-to-day routines. Yeah. And it might even really help you tune into your sense of self-worth. Not that any program is going to teach you how to love yourself or anything, but you're really finding your value, not in what you can offer, but just, it's like it somehow, I don't know if there's any kind of spirituality involved or if there's just some really good takeaways that can really hit some spiritual notes for you in this program, but you're just seeing life in a better way. If you're taking this program, it's going to help you really love and enjoy even the small beauty in life. Even if it's completely having nothing to do with beauty or anything, but if it's more like teaching you foundations for business and creating your own business or whatever, it's like you're seeing the beauty in that, if that makes sense. All right, let's go one more. Anything else? Anything else for Kirsten taking this program? Ooh, I give offerings that are genuine. So it's not only that you're getting a lot from this course program, whatever it is, but you're going to be able to then give people something that is very genuine and in alignment with your spirit, in alignment with your purpose. So this is going to you already kind of, I think, are going to create your own foundation, but this is going to give you the tools and tricks and tips that you can really set yourself a solid foundation in whatever business it is that you're getting into. And then you can offer people genuine offerings in your services, your goods, whatever it is you're creating. You're offering something that people can genuinely adore or love or align with or just benefit from. So I would say absolutely this would be a great opportunity. Awesome. Well, I hope that resonated. Looks like, if you're accepted, I'd say go for it. If you're not accepted, don't give up, because you can go for it at a later time. Working weight loss coaching business. Awesome. Yeah. Well, there you go. I think this can only enhance whatever line of business you do end up working in. Whatever you learn in this program could benefit you greatly. And it will bring more joy to your life. Again, remember, we're creating our own happiness, but the things outside of us can absolutely help enhance. We can't read that. There we go. Yeah, so it's almost like it lights you up from the inside out, or it triggers some light within you that you're just shining really bright and other people are noticing you. All right. Well, now let's get into our timestamp readings for our wonderful ladies who donated. We are at 247.58. 247.58 for Earthy Deva. And apologies, my dear, you donated last Wednesday when I had a huge migraine. The migraine was mostly gone, but I still had a headache and just residuals from having 3 days worth of migraine pain. I wasn't in my best headspace to be doing readings, and you had donated earlier in the day, and I was like, oh no. I was going to email you. I think I do have your email. And then we left the next morning for our trip to Yellowstone National Park. So I never got around to emailing you. I was going to let you know that I'll pick you up on the next live stream. I'm sorry, I'm not live tonight. And then I also had to skip Friday because I was on my Yellowstone trip. So, Earthy Deva, we are now divine timing, it is aligned. We are here taking care of your question over on PayPal email, which I do have from before. So let me scroll back through my thingy here. I will find it. Yes, I will. That is from today. So I gotta scroll back farther. There it is from the 23rd when you donated. So 7 days ago, a week ago today. All right, so today's question is about the different views my partner and I sometimes have around our relationship and how it should be. Normally we are able to find agreements, but I would like to ask the cards if there is a way we can work through them more harmoniously. Awesome. So any relationship in our lives, and especially those we have with our parents, our children, and our spouse or significant other, are sometimes some of the most challenging because they are the closest to us, the most vulnerable to us of all the connections we can have. And most particularly the one you share your most intimatist, that's not a word, most intimate times would be with your partner. So they even get an added level of knowing you on a deeper level than maybe your parents or your children would. So for some reason, I'm starting with this deck, whatever reason. So there will never, ever be anywhere in any relationship perfection. That's just unattainable. But there's a lot we can learn and grow and become through our relationships with others. And that's something that just really seeing the beauty of even the hard parts of each relationship, what it's teaching you. Wow. And you might even have a lot of heart-to-heart connections or, just being in almost constant communication or sometimes over communication or having like deep expressions of love. Leo is a very artistic sign. And having like the communication come through. So there might be that maybe one or the other of you, Anna, is wanting to have, bye, Kirsten, have a wonderful evening. Thanks again for all your donations, and hopefully you got some clarity tonight. But one or the other of you, Anna, is wanting to have more romantic expression, or either your love language or his love language might be like words of affirmation or praise, just hearing how great you are, or if that's your partner's love language. And if that's really neither of your love language, there just could be some benefit in the relationship by not just saying, oh, you did a good job with that, but like telling the reasons why and how it made you feel, and, just kind of flowering it up, prettying it up a bit. Not like you're lying, but you're just tuning deeper into the deeper reasons, not just the surface reasons why, you or your partner to you are great, or how you could improve something that maybe instead of saying, hey, you did that wrong, saying, I thank you so much for, washing my shirt. I hate to complain, but like next time, can you put it on this setting? Because if you don't, sometimes it does this. And when you dry it, it gets all wrinkled, or, whatever the example is. Even if there's a criticism that needs to come out, it's finding a very eloquent and loving and nice way to say it and still get your message across and still be able to communicate. Both of you, I think maybe that's something you could work on, is just finding the proper way to communicate what it is you're trying to say. And saying it in a way that the other person isn't going to feel attacked or, criticized or what have you. All right, so now let's go to the tarot. We're going to go to the after tarot. Anything else Anna needs to know? I'm going to read the last part of your question again so I get it right. Way you can work through, normally able to find agreements, but would like to ask the cards, is there a way we can work through them more harmoniously? Okay, yeah. Again, this is about finding like a spiritual, or like coming to a greater understanding, kind of what we were getting to as far as communication goes, but also like spiritual connection, just really leaning in more to intuitive hits you're getting about, you say something and then your partner gets quiet, trusting your intuition about, oh, maybe I was a little harsh, or, oh, maybe I should have, spent more time with him before I did this, or, just trusting your intuition about your relationship, not getting in your head about it and like, oh no, maybe I said that thing. And then like, 3 hours later, you're still like, I don't want to say obsessing, but like ruminating on, oh no, maybe I should have said this instead. I'm talking about like deep intuitive hits, like gut instinct hits about your connection, really trusting those. And also, if, one or the other of you asks, "Oh, how are you?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm fine," but, like, intuitively, you feel like maybe they're not fine, just kinda doing a bit of careful communication to kinda, dig without digging to get the answer to, "What is really bothering you? Are you okay?" Um, and especially when either of you are feeling overwhelmed or overburdened, you know, you see he's struggling with, something, and just offering to do something for him, or, asking, is there anything I can do? Or, just being that support, that shoulder, even if there's really nothing you can do, if he's, stressed about work, and you, not even, I wouldn't even say offering advice, because a lot of times, especially guys, that when they vent about work, or a person or a friend, they're not usually even looking for advice. Just them sometimes just having a sounding board, someone to speak to, like, that is the relief to them. Women a lot of times like to get insight, especially not so much from their like male counterpart, but like girlfriends. A lot of times they can be open to advice. Um, but like sometimes just knowing that the other person is listening and they're supporting you is enough. But I think sometimes taking it the extra mile and communicating deeper feelings, deeper thoughts, emotions, more spiritually inclined things could really benefit the relationship. Um, yeah, but there's still a lot of passion, a lot of desire, a lot of just inspiration that comes from you two being together. You're really feeling inspired by each other in a lot of ways. And even when things aren't 100% harmonious, you're still feeling this desire to make them harmonious, which is such a good thing, because when you lose that spark, and then you even lose the desire to bring the spark back, that's when you know you got a problem. But I don't see that at all for you. I see this as there's still a lot of desire, a lot of passion, and even when you're unsure how to move forward in a disagreement, or even just like varying views, like you think this thing about this person or thing, and he thinks a different thing about that person or thing, you could still find the common ground and still like go along to get along, but without compromising your own boundaries or your own opinions or thoughts. You're finding a way to, agree to disagree sometimes, possibly, because we can't always agree 100% on everything all the time. That would get boring, wouldn't it? But even in those moments when there's a bit of friction, a little bit of conflict, finding, okay, well, I believe this and you believe that, and that's perfectly fine, because we can still move forward like this, and not having to have everything like 100% like me too. Oh my God, me too. Like, we don't always have to be in a complete agreement with everyone in our lives. And sometimes it's fun to learn the ins and outs of someone that aren't exactly like us. Like, it gives us a new perspective, and sometimes can give us empathy for what they've gone through or what they believe. And yeah, again, whatever way you decide to move forward in your relationship, you're finding success. There could even be a trip or travel, something fun you're planning, or maybe recently did, or thinking of doing. I'd say go for it, because this could be really a bonding moment for your connection. I love it. But yeah, this is a card of success. So even if you do have those unharmonious times, you will always come back to each other, is really how it feels, because you guys are really, it's like, even if you don't always agree on the best way forward, the best, place to eat, or the best place to go on vacation, or how to talk to a friend, or whatever, it's like you always, at the end of the day or the end of the week or whatever, remember, we're on the same team. Even if we have different decisions or ideas about how to go about being on the team, we're on the same team. And sometimes we just have to remind ourselves, especially when it feels disharmonious, that hey, we both want happiness and we both want love. We both want the same thing. We just have maybe different ways or ideas or views of going about getting what we want. All right. But I don't see any red flags as far as anything totally bad. Again, just, the give and the take of a relationship. This is such a beautiful card in a relationship reading, because sometimes you give a little more than you want to, but then next time you get a little more than you needed. But again, it's about not overexerting yourself either in the giving or the taking department in a relationship. That is about finding the balance, and about, being not like you have to keep the score or the one-upsmanship, or, very conditional, well, you didn't do this for me, so I'm not doing that for you. That's not at all what I see. So it's just basically staying out of that territory of one-upsmanship or to keeping a score, but just making sure energetically you're both giving and receiving in a proper balance. You know what I mean? Whatever that is, whether it's your energy, your intimacy, your communication, your love. If one person's doing all the giving and the other person's doing all the receiving, and then in this other facet of your relationship, the other person's doing all the giving, the other person's doing all the receiving, even within facet, there's still imbalance. So it's just about really finding the balance, which really any relationship, Libra energy is every relationship in our lives. Finding the balance, I think that's the constant quest for any human in any kind of relationship on this planet. So, yep. And as long as more of your moments are harmonious than unharmonious, I think you're doing a pretty darn good job. So, yes. All right. Yeah, we are going late today, Jessica, right? Yes, have a wonderful evening. And everybody else who's still here and who's maybe catching the replay or has already left, I'm still sending you, jumping timelines to send you good vibes and love and peace and happiness. And yeah, we're going to leave it there. We're just past that 3-hour mark. So it is definitely time for me to go pee and talk to my husband, take my dog out to the bathroom, all that fun stuff. But I will be back here today's Wednesday. Yes, hopefully next Wednesday I'll be back as well. But I will be back Friday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Kids are at school, so we're not going to have any distractions. It's going to be great. We're going to do a free one-card pull for everybody who wants to get in on that fun, the first 20-ish minutes of that live stream. Hello, Piccoli. Goodbye, Piccoli. Good to see you, dear. But yes, I'll be back Friday. Hope to see you there. We can hang out, have some fun, do some readings. And yeah. All right, you guys. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. All right, you guys. Bye. Bye, Jessica. Bye, Kirsten. Bye, Piccoli. Bye, everybody.